Hello everybody, welcome. We're going to be having one hell of a StarCraft 2 day for you in store right here. I'm very excited for this one. Very much looking forward to both these matches actually. We're already at the semi-finals of this entire tournament, the conclusion, the final bits and pieces. And I just realized that one of my lights actually is not on right now. That is why half my face is a little bit dark. Hold up. So that it didn't break. Come on, Mr. Lamp. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's better. It's a bit better. I don't know if it is better. Maybe I look even more, you know what, photographic professionally. Something like that. But, anyway, we got a TVT in store, first and foremost. The most popular mirror matchup we're going to start off with. Cure and Innovation. A bit of a rematch of that, TVT in particular, of course. We've all seen that GSL match, haven't we? A little bit ago in the previous one. We're going to be seeing what will happen this time around in the best of 5 between these two guys, and if Innovation has picked up his game a little bit. Of course, Innovation's TVT already quite something original, right? Quite something that is unique to himself, it feels like, and well, he really did kind of find his own groove with that type of stuff. I don't know if it's exactly the best thing, but he does add a certain unique flavor, in my opinion, to the TVT, whether it be with the Cyclones or just mass Siege Tanks and mass Vikings without anything else entirely. Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. Anyway, Cure, of course, was able to beat him the previous time. Will that happen again? I don't think it will, personally. Maybe that is me just being a little bit of an Innovation fanboy. That could be the case. But we'll have to see. I mean, Cure already really proving that he is still an absolute beast, of course. I think yesterday as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch yesterday's conclusions, but I think he did well, right? I probably should have just looked up the overall score. Has anyone seen the scores of the overall conclusion there? Let me see, actually, if I can find this real quick. Team Liquid. Let's see. You missed the entire tournament. I should see who was in. Alright, yeah. There was some pretty darn good names in here. I mean, to be fair, we probably have some of the best names, right? Continuing onwards. But, you know what? It could be pretty cool. Let me actually check. Alright, they just had the veto, so I'm gonna let them join us into the lobby, and then I'll quickly give a look about with what happened with these players, right, in this entire tournament. What obstacles did they overcome, and so forth. Alright, Mr. Walter, thank you for the follow as well. Cure Daddy, Delirium, very much appreciate that sub, my man, for 3 months now. That's always cool to see. Sibbies and you who by it's very much appreciated as well. Alright, let me see if this is going on the right screen. No, it is not. Alright, that is always embarrassing. Hold up. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Alright, so here we go. In well, Cure, first and foremost, this is the guy that started it all off. Yeah, oh wait, let's accept this. Let's accept that. Alright, so Cure right here started it off with the first group. Going through Hurricane and Armani. Armani, a very strong Zerg as well. Did manage to move on as second place, it looks like. But, of course, Cure going through first, having a good time there. Going into Group A right there. And looks like he also had a good time over there. So, beating Sue 2-1. Got a little bit closer there than it did for the Armani games, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not remembering this correctly. Are we good? Yeah, okay, we're in the lobby. So it's good. Alright, what else? Group B, Innovation, there he is. Going through Ragnarok without much of a hassle. Going through Zaun. Very unfortunate for the Alpha X people, but you know what? Oh well. We have Innovation now in the tournament, so that's always very nice as well. And Ragnarok had a second chance here. Unfortunately, he had to go up against Cure, of course. Anyway, so yeah, Innovation going into Group B. Right there, let's take a look. Stats and Sue, of course, also. It's kind of funny how they all started in a different group here. And moved on to the... Actually, they're all on top as well. They were all first out of the groups. That's quite funny as well, isn't it? Already kind of showing like, alright, these probably are the best players that we had in those groups. They went through the second group stage as well. Cure, Sue, Stats, Innovation. Kieran stats both on top right there. I'm kind of wondering if I need to do anything here because that's. let me just make sure they don't. Okay, we're good. We're good. It sounds like we're good. All right. So yeah, Cure. So they already played a 2-1 there for Cure. And over here, of course, Stats versus Innovation. Stats taking out Innovation at previous time. So if that is going to be happening here, that would be pretty cool as well. Anyway, we're gonna hop into game number 1 here, guys. The TVT Extravaganza, the best of 5, starting and kicking things off right now. Innovation versus Cure. Honestly, it is a tough one to call. Innovation definitely one that can take this match quite handsomely. But then again, Cure as well definitely can make this quite a fight. And as Sushi is calling out in the chat right now, help us out with those codes, guys. We would very much appreciate it. We still have quite a few remaining, and this is the last day for this tournament. A 7-day tournament overall. Every single code would be appreciated and would help us out immensely. So if you would be so kind, you know what, head over there, do those codes, and you know what, maybe do some quests as well while you're at it, right? As soon as there is a little bit of downtime. Anyway, let's start introducing these players. In the top left side, we have ourselves a red Terran player fighting for Kaisi Gaming. He is Innovation. Bottom right side, he's being proxied, but you know what, he's just playing it nice and friendly. Everything in his own base. He's the blue Terran player. He is Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Pure. Alright. Alright. See, he is going for the scout over here, and look at that. We'll definitely see this barracks. No way you're not going to see that one. Easy as pie. And Innovation, I mean, there's no way he can cancel this barracks anymore. Ooh, a little bit of missed micro there. I don't think he would have gotten it, the SCV before the barracks completed, but it would have been a little bit closer there. Maybe with a bit better micro. That could have ended the game right then and there. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for the codes and the help. A couple of people already helping out. That's exactly what we need right now. As, you know what, it just makes us look better in front of the sponsors by having those codes and having some quests being done. And then we'll be able to do more tournaments in the future, you know. That's what it all comes down to. It only takes a couple of clicks. Anyway. A Reaper over here, going into the main base. Cure, not really ready for this one. Quite, oh well, never mind, there is a Reaper there. Just in the wrong position. Taking a couple of pot shots there on the SCV, but nothing tremendously horrifying here. It's a single SCV. Are you kidding me? Oh, he got close. He doesn't want to lose his own SCV. I think at that point you might as well just try to go for it, right? Trade the SCV for the SCV, but Cure deciding against it, trying to get out of it. Alright. What do we have with the 2 Reapers? Just kind of chilling for now. I mean, Innovation a little bit later with that command center, but his patented Cyclones over here will be making the field. Gonna try the little poking strategy with those Reapers, allowing for the vision with the barracks, of course. Trying to just shoot the supply depot here. Maybe just get some SCVs away from the mining. Force some repairs, that's always a good thing. And I mean, if he does force those SCVs over here right now, that would already on its own allow him to maybe target some of those down. But not really gonna take too much of a hassle here, is Cure. Alright, so Innovation. What's the next step here? There is that barracks still floating around and a Cyclone coming in right now as well. Looks like he will continue onwards with trying to pressure here, but Cure has his own Cyclone. 2 lock-ons, 2 Reapers go down. And we are having 2 Cyclones actually at the same time being built for Cure. Taking a page out of Innovation's book, and Innovation just kind of feels overall slightly behind right now, right? As that slower command center has the slow attack as well as in the second factory. The starport's only now as well being constructed. Now, that is ahead of Cure, though. That's just one thing. But then again, I mean, nothing really that spectacular will be coming out of the starports that can really deal with the Cyclones all that well. And the barracks here doesn't want to lose that, of course. As soon as you lose that barracks, you will have to rebuild it in order to actually continue making more factories. And, well, that's just something Innovation is going to have to deal with as well right now. The Pew Pew rockets for the Cyclones upgraded here for Innovation, as he is known to get it as quickly as possible. So now if he does manage to get into a, into a lock-on fight with one of those other blue Cyclones, he will have the upper hand. It's kind of funny. Trying to make use of the Cyclones here and the speed fuel as well. That's kind of interesting. Just keeping him over there, allowing him to just more easy, get himself chasing the enemy units if they try to get away still. Alright, third base being constructed here for both players as well. I'm using old-timey mech field accelerators now as well, finishing up for Cure. So, both these players fully committed to the mech, it looks like. Innovation going for those Cyclones, already, well, the Liberators and a good amount of Cyclones, I suppose, as well. And Cure really committed to the Cyclones here. This is usually how I expect Innovation to play. Maybe Cure is expecting Innovation to play like this, and now he's just like, you know what, let me just get a ton of Cyclones and play the game your style, right? Try to beat you in your own game. BM Yako, thank you for the follow as well. Much appreciated. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be the case, of course. Liberator harassment on the way, a single Marine harassment on the way as well. A little bit less HP and probably won't get as much on this one Marine, but we'll be able to get the scout off on this third base already being in location. There we go, that's always quite useful. As well, he didn't see a third base at the other location right there, so you need to know what your opponent is up to. Otherwise you're just gonna get caught with your pants down, and that's never a nice thing, especially when it's being streamed, right? You will get banned from quite a couple of things if that happens. So don't do it. All right. Anyway, Liberator here. First set of harassment. Actually, it's building barracks, allowing this Liberator to stick around for a little bit longer. Still in sieges, maybe not the... Could have probably just stayed there, but... what a valiant effort. Valiant effort trying to remove himself from the vicinity there. Save himself. Innovation already ready with this Cyclone over here, though. Anticipating a maneuver like this. There is another Liberator on the top side. A little bit less of a prepped Cyclone over there. But at the same time, he should be more than ready for these Cyclones coming in through the main door. Which they won't do, because he scans like a very smart man and decides to back up again, right? That's quite key in TVT. When there's a Terran against you, make sure you don't just run into siege tanks. That's probably a great bit of advice. Anyway, so yeah, ultimately, both these guys still going up kind of equally here. I guess the upgrades for Innovation gonna have a slight advantage here, so maybe he will be able to pick a fight at some point where he does have that +1/+1 advantage, or maybe later on, of course, still as well. As long as he stays on top of the upgrades here, he should remain with that slight advantage. But of course, there are going to be times as well where Cure is going to have that equalized. We're gonna have to wait and see. Blue Flame as well for both these players on the way. I think this is, again, Innovation actually now starting to get a little bit ahead with the attacking, right? Cure started off having the quicker natural base and the quicker other stuff as well. Actually does scan that, but decides to still go in. Loses a Cyclone, I believe, for that one. For that transgression. Oh, one Liberator though. Hey, hello. Getting 6-7 kills actually. 6 kills. Was that 6 kills with the mule included? I'm not completely certain. think it was. Didn't have that much energy left anymore anyway, but yeah, that was nice. That was definitely a very good job there by Cure. Puts himself ahead on the work account and gets himself some time to get this 4th base settled as well. He's making the planetary, so doing a bit of the more safe approach, I suppose. Cyclones will still be able to just lock on and stay out of range, of course, but... Oh my dear lord. Okay, Innovation attempting to go in here, but Cure completely ready. Coming in from the back. We'll be able to force these units to commit into this base right here, and I mean, that is rather nasty. Innovation might still be able to find a good bit of damage, and there we go. Okay, does kill off a base. Gets the side or the Hellion behind the mineral line there as well, and gets a good bit of damage there, but at what cost, of course? That was quite a good amount of Cyclones just going up into flames. This might provide an opportunity here for Cure to just keep pushing into some other location. There's only 2 siege tanks on that left side. I mean, a couple of good lock-ons right there. Maybe ride your Hellions in front so they take the brunt of the shot. Should be pretty darn good. Innovation, though, forcing this army backwards once again. A nice read on the overall army positioning of his opponent and moves to the sides. Oh, beautiful scan. What a guy. What a guy. How does he know? This is what they call the star sense, right? And now he's just hiding underneath. So he will be able to get another kill on this base. Look at that. Not even a cancel. Now Cure knows, but at the same time, Hellions coming in on the right side. Oh, okay. There are Cyclones already in position, so nothing too horrendous will be happening there for Cure. +2/+2 now on the way. The upgrades have tied up, but it's gonna go into the favor for Innovation again, of course, later on. 2 bases at the same time now being constructed by Cure. Yeah, wait. Oh, okay. He cancelled one of them, I think. Unless if it just finished up, that could be the case as well. Oh, right. It was this one, wasn't it? He did lose that one. That's right. Right, so let's see if Innovation again coming in here. Is he gonna just lock onto the command center once more? Okay, we'll not commit to this. We'll just try to get the hell out of there again. Innovation definitely the man in the driver's seat here, continuously forcing the engagements and deciding where they take place. Cure doing a pretty good job though at keeping this back, but not really in a position where he can move into his opponent's bases because of those siege tanks, right? In a great position. Siege tanks, they do 2 shots a Cyclone, so as long as you have 2 of them, you can do quite a bit of damage before they even get close to your mineral line here. Bloodsill apology as well. Thank you for the follows. I hope you enjoy StarCraft 2 because that's pretty much all you're gonna get over here. Well, if you're like, well, I already like the low-level StarCraft 2. Well, tough titties. That's not gonna work for us. That's not how we do things. We only provide the highest level of StarCraft 2. Well, maybe not always the highest, but pretty darn high up there. The 0.2%, something like that. All right. Now, Cure, he made himself a couple of his own siege tanks right now. Is looking to move across the map here. And secure himself a nice location. And this is, in fact, a location where Innovation was attempting to get himself a base going as well. So that is going to have to be delayed here a little bit while Cure himself has that base kind of secured, right? It's not the same base. It's not completely mirrored, but it is his 5th base, and Innovation now stuck on those 4 bases. It's going to mean that Cure, of course, it will be able to provide himself with a little bit of an easier time to start really ramping up the overall bank, which he'll be getting himself. And that means it's going to be easier for him to replenish, maybe transition into an air Terran force if he does desire something like that. Oh my dear lord, this is a big fight. Siege tanks still on the bottom there as well, on the high ground, but there's so many siege tanks from Innovation, and oh, Cure running in his Cyclones there. Looks like Cure a little bit out of position, taking a fight he shouldn't have, and paying the piper there. For a moment I was like, what are those SCVs doing? There's the Liberator over there. That makes a lot of sense. Now Innovation pushing his advantage right now. 20 extra army supply, and he's really making it work for himself. Those 2 Liberators, unfortunately the Cyclones already on top of them will not be able to pick up the siege tanks there. And Cure going from bad to worse. He does still have the planetary here, maybe slowing down this engagement, the encroachment upon his forces a little bit, but I mean, this is going to be 2 bases right now, completely stopped from mining. Innovation from a position where it kind of looked like he may start to get himself into a bit of trouble, finds a great opportunity, and finds the ultimate engagement right there in the middle of the map, pushes the advantage, and gets himself 2 bases pretty much killed off right now, while also securing those other 2 bases across the map here for himself. Alright, more Liberators here. Attempting so desperately to hold back this source of innovation. I think it may finally be cleaned up, but it's at the cost of a lot of SCVs, a lot of the army supply of Cure as well. So, as opposed to when innovation cleaned up the army, I don't think Cure will be able to push across the map right now and do something similar. He still does have a siege tank over here, but I mean that's going to be a rough one. Agile TV, thank you for the host. Or should I say raid? It is a raid after all. All right, Cure. Ooh, that is a planetary fortress. A good choice there by Innovation, as it turns out. Was being a little bit more greedy overall, getting more orbitals instead of the planetary fortresses, but now when you're getting this spread out, you really do want to have yourself the planetaries. It will get cleaned up here before, you know what, under the protection of those 2 siege tanks here, Innovation will not be able to push in, so he decides to, you know what, let me try to do more damage across the map, and this is just going back and forth between these 2 guys. This is like watching 2 boxers fight against one another, and neither of them are ever guarding themselves. It's just like continuously they're pounding each other's faces, and it's just whoever will fall over first is going to lose this game. And it is still a little bit tight here, right? It may be a base trade scenario. I'm liking the army composition of Cure here a little bit better because he does still have those siege tanks. There is still a good amount of cyclones here with the Liberator as well, and Innovation is moving backwards. We'll be able to shut off the path of retreat of these forces right here, and the full surround comes in. Alright, alright. It's like we're watching a TVC right now. Okay, we're calming down a little bit again, but overall, after all of that, I mean, so many bases fell, and still we're kind of in a similar situation. We're in a pretty okay position for both these players. I'm liking Innovation's spot, of course, a little bit more so, not only because he has extra supply, not only because right now he's finding his army of Cure completely again with it pens down. I told him not to do it, but hey, you can't stop a man sometimes to be caught with his pants down, I guess. This is a weird one. Alright, it happens sometimes. StarCraft 2, a brutal game. It happens sometimes. And there is the new base now for Innovation. It looks properly secured as well. It's going to be very rough for Cure to break this one. And I mean, if we have some sort of a siege tank lineup over here as well, it's going to be a perfect location for Innovation to just start pushing out from here. Alright, more stuff right now. There shouldn't have been a ad. I played the ad right before we started this, actually. I don't know what happened there. Sushi, I promise you, I played the ad as we were starting this. Right, anyway, let us continue onwards, and alright, well, Cure goes down. But yeah, that's very odd, honestly. This game took 18 minutes. We probably had about 4 minutes of pre-time. And that's when I played the that before that, so it's like 22 minutes. 22 minutes, and it starts to play ads in between games for people. That is just odd. That's just odd. What I'm getting from this cast is primarily that Kozen doesn't like to wear pants, and people watch always catch him without. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I mean. Alright, continuing onwards. Continuing onwards. That's right. I painted my legs green now, so you know what? Just in case, it will get green screened out, so don't worry about it, alright? It's never gonna happen again. Alright, we're starting game number 2 rather quickly here. No time to waste, of course. Let's go. Let's go. That was a crazy one, honestly. A lot of back and forth. It's a lot of cyclones. A lot of cyclones indeed. But you know what? The way Innovation uses the cyclones, just kind of as a run-by. It's almost like you're seeing like a cavalry unit just kind of going through the front line and then just trying to wreak havoc upon his opponents right there. Alright. Let me do the scores and bring you guys in here. Also, much appreciate all the, Oh, Zuka's not in. Damn. I'm missing one of the... Sorry. Alright. Alright. Thank you for Mr. Insane, Calmerlul as well. Thank you for those follows, people. Much appreciated. You know what? We can't do this without you all. Got a spackly shirt on, apparently. Shukudi as well, coming in with another follow. I appreciate it, my man. I appreciate it. Alright, remember people, because of the overall stuff with the Machirino, we have a lot of quests set up there because of the overall stuff. I suppose I could just say, we have a Machirino page. If you want to check it out, that would be very much appreciated, of course. Just type !Machirino. We still have a lot of codes to give out, so, I mean, if you could help us out in any way, shape or form, that would be a great way. There's also, of course, a survey quest. If you do live in the NA region, you will be able to add just overall $2 to the prize pool just by filling out some questions. Just filling out some questions. That's all you gotta do. That is everything that is required. Questions, I mean, that's what we grow up with, right? That's what school has prepped us for. It's not for our job. It's answering questions to provide extra money for the StarCraft 2 scene. That is what it really comes down to, and that is the most important part. Alright. I hope we have everyone now. I certainly hope so. Because otherwise this would start to get awkward. In the bottom left side, we have ourselves the red Terran player fighting for KaiZ Gaming. He is Innovation. His opponent in the top right side, one game behind, is the blue man. He is Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. Alright. Now, let's see if they once again will attempt to go for that same strategy. Oh, Innovation already mixing it up. First and foremost, his barracks is in his main base, of course. That's already one thing that he's doing. The other thing, there's two of them. Whoa, what? Yeah, that's right, there's two of them. What would you do with two barracks? You only need one, right? Well, sometimes you do. But this way, if your opponent does go for anything proxied, anything early aggression, this is going to be a great way to kind of deal with that, first and foremost. It does allow you as well to, of course, provide a bit of pressure on the opposite side of the map as well, where you will be able to, maybe kill off some units. It's usually not really game-ending, as the double barracks is on the other side of the map. It's going to still take quite a while before the Reapers actually get there, and usually the factory units will be available. Now, we do have Cure going for the single gas expand, which I'd say overall is just going to put him a little bit ahead over here, as long as he doesn't lose against the micro of these Reapers of Innovation. Which, you know what, is probably something a lot of people would do, but I'm not sure if it will happen to Cure, though. Cure pretty darn solid with his own micro. Factory already on the way as well here. It's going to help out, but will it be in time? Those two Reapers right now. You see, so yeah, if these Reapers were over here, he would now have two Reapers already, and he would be able to just start cleaning this up. No problem, but It's taking such a long time. The third Reaper, fourth Reaper as well. Is he going to continue onwards with the Reapers? Let's wait and see. Yep, okay, he is actually continuously adding more Reapers. Oh, getting a pretty good shot there. Oh, it's going to lose his first Reaper. Kills off a Marine, but you don't really want to trade the Reaper for the Marine. Definitely wanted to get himself the other Reaper. Gonna go in for the kill right now. Nice zoning using those SCVs right there. And yeah, I think that already is going to completely shut down any type of aggression here from those Reapers, right? Because the Hellions just going to get completed now. And yeah. So yeah, that's Cure just with a lead right now. I mean, the double barracks is a safe build. Don't get me wrong, it's a very safe build. It's a fun build, right? But you do run the risk, like, just like this, if your opponent does do the 1 Rex expand, or the 1 refinery expand, you might just fall behind a little bit here. And not just on the SCV count, but also on tech, because we already have 2 Hellions out, of course, here for Cure. He's building himself the tech labs. He's already got the starports, and innovation only now adding in that factory. It's only just now being completed. So, yeah, well, I mean, just a rough position overall. Because those Reapers, I mean, he lost 4 of them. That is still a pretty darn good amount of gas as well. Let me see, actually, of course, this one. Yeah, 50 times 5. That is 250 gas, right? That's what you need for a factory and a starport. Third base for innovation is a little bit earlier, though, so trying to regain some overall equality again. Making that choice right there for the quicker third base. Coming in to see that, you know, he's doing okay. You can even now, you know, realize that there is a Banshee on the way. We'll start a Raven in production most likely here. Soon as he has, well, he has the money for it. What is he doing? There we go. Okay. I think that one definitely taking priority. Cure looks like he's not that on top of the Banshee overall right now. He doesn't have the cloak. Just went for a single one, perhaps. If you do catch your opponent off guard, it is a very valuable tool. And you might be able to do quite a bit of damage, but doesn't appear to be what will be happening here. Innovation in a good position. Has that Reaper spotting over there. Has some more Reapers spotting over here. And a Cyclone on the natural base in case the Banshee comes from that area. So yeah, Cure not even going to attempt to go into the main base, as he knows, you know, innovation. He likes those Cyclones. He really likes those Cyclones. So let me just chill, kill this Reaper, get back, and maybe come in at some later point in the game to, you know, at a point in time where innovation may not be thinking about Banshee harassment that much anymore. Right. Oh my dear lord. I was so focused on just overall mech versus mech, I didn't even realize. Guys, we are having Cure going for the bioplay this time around. That's very interesting. It does feel like the mech is just an easier way to make the upsets happen. But overall, wait, we also have 2 barracks for innovation here. Is that just another barracks to... Oh, wait, never mind. Of course, he already started it off with the double barracks. I'm a little bit slow today, it turns out. Alright, anyway. But yeah, as I was saying, for Cure, if you feel like your opponent is a little bit better, maybe it is easier to use the mech army, right? With the big punchy army. The bioplay, though, definitely something Cure can do. I wouldn't say he is the non-favorite here, as he is known to take out innovation now and again. And I don't know if you guys ever seen Cure his TVZ, when he's just continuously with multi-pronged harassments, making every Zerg's life absolutely abysmal. He could very well do something similar here in the TVT matchup. It's not unthinkable. It's fairly similar in that sense. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case. 2 Cyclones here may be able to... Okay, one of them looks onto his Hellion right now. And in he comes. Alright, forces most of the forces of innovation to move this way, but the barracks is going to go down, the scouting barracks. And he's just going to back up here. Makes a lot of sense. Was that still the Banshee over here as well? Yes, there is. So I'm not sure. Maybe he was trying to poke there. He does have 1 kill on that Banshee, but that is still, of course, the Reaper. Okay, now he comes in. There is that Cyclone there. Okay, he's just gonna ditch the Banshee. I really like this, actually. Just gonna go for as much damage as he can, being locked on and all. Most likely he wouldn't have been able to escape. So, you know what? Getting 3 kills there, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Alright. Now, with that being said, we have the Fusion Core already on the way here for Cure. He's adding in more barracks though, so I don't think this is for the battlecruisers. Most likely that is just for Liberator range. A great way to kind of deal with those entrenched siege tank armies that your mech player is going against. And this could be pretty darn cool for Cure, seeing the bio with just more so focused on Liberators instead of siege tanks, and then trying to force your opponents out of position that way. So you can start really pushing in there with your bio forces. Third base for Cure, maybe under a little bit of heat pretty darn soon. Looks like he should have more than enough to deal with it. Has those forces on the top side as well. Look at that spread, absolutely lovely. Really wants to clean up this little tiny force for innovation, and we'll be able to catch a couple of them coming in from this side as well. There we go. You thought you could get away. No, sir. No chance in hell. Oh, gets away with one high in there. I like the target firing of Cure as well. Very cool to see him trying to get the concussive shell on all of those units so they all get slowed down. Awesome stuff overall. And cleans up most of that little harassment force. Another harassment force on the right side right now. I mean, this may be just a little bit of a response as what we saw from game number 1, of course, where innovation continuously with these small packs of Cyclones and the Hounds. Well, I say small, sometimes they were ridiculously big, but pretty much everything he had, but still. And this time now, I mean, Cure is just ready, sitting there with Bioforces, and Bioforces absolutely tear Battle Mech apart. As we're seeing continuously here, it's really the siege tanks and such that will be able to deal with the Marines and the Marauders. Alright, that's a dead base right there. That's what you get for being a slowpoke with your siege tanks. I'm not saying that innovation is a slowpoke necessarily, but more so that the siege tanks themselves are slowpokes, which, you know what, I don't think anyone would disagree with. Oh, Cure really trying to commit here for this location. We did see, of course, the Fusion Core being added from him, but, I mean, there's doesn't seem to be a lot of... wait, he got the Afterburners, actually, didn't he? Crazy. So he got himself the upgrade for the medevac boost. I don't even know what it's called. It's not pre... I forgot. Anyway, you don't really see that very often. That's pretty cool. Really trying to ramp up the mobility overall of his Bioforces. Seeing an opportunity here on the third base of Innovation. It looks like Innovation just completely just gonna get vaporized right here. Losing more of his economy. And Cure behind this, he's just on 5 bases right now. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty nuts. Coming in from the top now as well. Look at that drop. All the siege tanks on top of each other. The medevacs from the bottom right as well coming in now. And he cleans up a lot of those siege tanks. That is going to be a costly fight for Innovation. Yes, he does hold on, but he lost so much of that heavy, costly mech. I mean, look at that. 15 siege tanks. He is pretty much 3 times the amount of gas extra lost. 50% extra minerals lost right now, and all while Cure is looking pretty darn wealthy on that 5 base economy. And is he just... Alright, I think Cure needs to slow it down a little bit here. Doesn't want to commit with these small amount of forces. Just contain Innovation right now on that 3 base, I'd say. Maybe do drops in different locations, although there are a lot of missile turrets right here. The main base is pretty open still though, so maybe there's an opportunity for him to try and get in that location. Innovation realizing that he needs to get something done. And, well, this seems to be his choice of action. He's going to go for drops himself as well. A medevac with Hellbats. We'll have to keep an eye out for that one. There is a planetary fortress here though, so as long as Cure his micro As long as he pulls those SCVs away quick enough, then that should be okay. That should be okay. I think it should be, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, did Kjør find this opportunity into the main base? I think he very well may have 2 Vikings right now waiting. And Kjør doesn't know how many other Vikings are there, so backs up, doesn't want to lose those units for free, of course. There's one Hellbat over here, another Hellbat on that newly base that's trying to get constructed. So far, not that much damage being achieved, but definitely keeping Kjør a little bit busy, right? Keeping him preoccupied, buying Innovation enough time here to really almost fully get remaxed already. Alright, another drop into the natural base. Shuts down a lot of the economy. I think the one way that Innovation might still be able to win this one is if he does get himself into a max supply scenario right now. Although, you know what, Kjør doing a good job keeping Innovation's forces low right now. That was a very cost-inefficient fight on the third base, but it doesn't matter anymore as much, right? He's so far ahead economically speaking. As long as he keeps Innovation from having a max supply army, I feel like this still should be pretty good for him. But, I mean, this is a scary force. That is 104 army supply marching down the map, coming down the woodworks. And Kjør, what does he really have? He has, well, units on the other side of the map. Okay, well, there's still a lot of siege tanks here as well, actually. He, is this going to be able to be solved by Kjør? I feel like he just needs to get everything together right now. I mean, he can sack 1 or 2 bases. That is fine. He just needs to buy himself time. Set up a nice surround on this force, right? If he comes in from, like, 1, 2, 3 angles, or even over here, right? That seems doable. He did have forces from the bottom as well. They did get cleaned up, though. Trying to deal the damage on the other side. And now Innovation already repositioning his forces, making a surround a little bit more tricky. But as long as Kjør manages to clean this up, he should be able to put himself in a wonderful position here. And I think, honestly, we may very well have a GG if this army of Innovation goes down without doing significant amount more damage to Kjør's economy. He is starting to really ramp up the overall army right now. The army size for Kjør is pretty darn ridiculous, but instead of just trying to clean this up, he looks like he wants to go for the base trade. Either that, or he's doing the biggest flank I've seen in well, forever. Okay, no, it's gonna go into this base over here. This one Marauder, my dear lord, 14 kills. Okay, he goes down. That's unfortunate. Yeah, finding an opportunity there. Will commit here into this base right now. That's gonna force the hand of Innovation. He needs to start pushing in as quickly as possible, but that's still a pretty reasonable sized army here for Kjør as well, of course. If he fights when those siege tanks are in siege, he should be able to get a good engagement going. I think things are looking pretty darn sour here. Oh my god, that carnage. I mean, this siege tank army is still very powerful, but it's never really going to be able to deal the damage that it needs to in time, unless if he stabilizes back at home, and that's a very tough thing to ask. Innovation, can he do this? He shouldn't be able to, right? I mean, look at the supply, just overall, it's more than 100 extra supply there for Kjør. But Kjør doesn't look like he wants to commit. Okay, alright, he's coming back. He's decided, you know what, I dealt the damage. All I need to do is clean up this army right now. And that should be victory for me. But those siege tanks, oh no, they're gonna face their worst enemy. There's 5 ravens right there. And let's see, most of them have the interference matrix. 3 of them have interference matrix right here. That's only going to cut down 3 siege tanks, but with a good proper surround, with some good splitting. I mean, and look, oh wait, there's 2 more ravens over here. Are you kidding me? Alright, well, here we go. 5, 6, 7 siege tanks actually getting disabled, and that should be it. That's everything. Kjør cleans it up. GG is called. And Kjør ties up the series there with some lovely bio play. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff indeed. Alright. Alright. That means 1-1. We're going to continue onwards with the third game. where Innovation and Cure are gonna, well, try to see who will gain the upper hand. I'm so used to this being best of 3s. Of course, this will be best of 5s. We'll have to wait and see if which one of these players will take the initiative. I really like to see the Bio play from Cure, though. I'm not used anymore to seeing Bio win against the overall mech in TVT. It just feels like it's a little bit more tricky, right? You really gotta make sure you don't take any bad fights, because that could just start a real snowball where the mech army just marches across the map and you just are incapable of producing enough to really hold that back. Never really happened there for Cure. He managed to gain that upper hand through his mobility. And oh my god, those siege tanks right there getting dropped on from the top side. That was ridiculous. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Alright. Did the same to Maru yesterday. Oh man. That's cool. That is cool. Didn't get to see yesterday, unfortunately, myself, but any similarities that do happen in this match, definitely let me know. Let me know, because that is just interesting stuff overall, right? It's stuff they could have prepped for. Anyway. Well, I don't think you actually had a lot of time then to prep for it, so... Ravens ruled against Maru as well. I see, I see. Yeah, I'm not... You're not that... Well, I'm not that accustomed to seeing that many Ravens either, right? Very often in TVT, people just kind of get the initial, like, maybe 3, maybe 4 Ravens, and then they stop that production. But yeah, you can see against that heavy siege tank style in particular, incredibly powerful, and allows that Bio Force to get a lot closer and do a whole boatload more damage. Innovation just not having the air dominance anymore. Having lost that a couple of times because of the Bio. Maybe a little bit of mispositioning of the swords. Cure? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, how did... Oh, wow. Alright, well... That's unfortunate, Innovation. That is highly unfortunate. This is rough. Okay, gets one cancel. It's like, alright, never mind. Never mind. But we might still see a response from Cure, though, of course. Let's see if he starts building bunkers anytime soon. So far, not being the case. Alright, so I don't think he fell for it. He still saw it too, so... I'm surprised, actually, that he didn't go for a bunker here. Just to make sure that he doesn't just straight up die to a Proxy 2 Rex. Anyway. Kaimak 12, Tsamaunk, Andreas Auswin, and Lovey SC. Have Sandstorm as Ashira. I think I mentioned those other guys already. Thank you for the follows. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves some StarCraft 2. Because, well, I mean, that's what we have right now available. We could start a cooking challenge as well if you want right now, but I highly doubt anyone would be up for that when matches like these are going on. Probably would be better to kind of focus on this one, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Right. Well, there's a proxy starboards right here for Cure. Wondering if that's going to be a Liberator. Is this a replay or a live match? This is, in fact, a live match. Starve Korean, thank you as well. DG as well. Much appreciated, people. People of the internet, thank you so much for following us. The Alpha X Squadron. We're a team that likes to, you know what, just create a ton of events. A lot of them are, of course, for our own place as well to participate in. And then sometimes we have some amazing stuff like this with the Koreans. And, I mean, we did have Estrella in this one as well, right? At the start. Am I mistaken? I might be mistaken on that one, actually. I don't think we did. Let me double check that, actually. It comes in and out of some of them. Yeah, we did have Estrella in this one. Estrella special time. Nice. Scarlet as well. When we started out. It's a bit unfortunate. Oh my god, deja vu! This time he goes for it. And he's completely fine with how that ended over there. The Liberator gets zoned out entirely by the Cyclone as well. So nothing's gonna happen there. Alright. Oh, the Reapers of Innovation here managed to get in. Killing off a good amount of workers there. Man, you don't expect that anymore to happen at this stage. Just suddenly Reapers. Suddenly Reapers. That proxy rack still paying for itself later on in the game. Actually, 5 kills. That is quite massive. 30 versus 25. That is quite a significant lead right now for Innovation, as you can see in the income graph. That's going to put him on a great spot over here. It's going to put him on an amazing spot over here. And what's this? Cure continuing on with the starport shenanigans over on the top side. You know what I would like to see as well? Just one SCV just coming over there. Just to repair that Liberator up again. Get him up in tip-top shape. And try again. There's still one Cyclone remaining, but I mean, if you do have the Cloak Banshee, you might be able to pick that one off. Especially if there is only one of them. Oh, actually, he just uses the Liberator here at the front side right now. There's only a single Cyclone defending this, as Innovation just pushed across the map with his 3 Cyclones himself. This is quite a hefty attack right now, trying to just absolutely destroy this base right now. Doing a pretty good job as well at it. I'm not sure if this is enough Marines to really shut down the command center here, but this is a great play here from Cure, making use of the fact that Innovation doesn't really get himself that many defensive siege tanks at the start of the game, and really focuses on those Cyclones here. Now, of course, the Cyclones did kill off this base that was being produced as well from Cure, so that is a problem. Oh, nice look on that. Cleans up this the siege tank, and that may be a little bit of the end of the overall possibilities of what Cure can do right now. Yeah, the Liberator as well getting picked off, and now there's 3 Cyclones coming in back around again. I mean, I think I'm digging Innovation's position now even more so. It was a very cool attempt for Cure. I thought it was a very smart play overall, but ultimately he didn't really get the damage dealt, did he? He really didn't. Alright, these 2 Banshees right now. There is 2 Vikings out to play as well. We'll clean up a couple of those Cyclones though. It looks like we do not have any scans, as there's just 3 mules that were thrown down, and the entire ground force of Innovation does get cleaned up. Which is what happens, of course, to Cure just earlier. So it's not quite yet the best of the best, but it is a lot better now than it was before, and maybe he will have an opportunity to start pushing across again with 2 siege tanks and just a couple of Marines, as there's only Vikings now. 2 more Cyclones getting created. Another Banshee coming into the main base right here. Will Cure still be able to push this? Will he still be able to take a good fight here? Cleaning up the 2 of those Vikings. There we go. Both those Cyclones looking onto the same units right now. There's Banshee really doing a number on the SCVs as well on the top side. And all of a sudden, Cure tying up the worker count. He's coming in again. You know, this base in a lot of trouble now. Repair looks pretty good though. Right, let's wait and see what happens. Oh, this beautiful, beautiful look on that. Cleans up one of the siege tanks. Cure needs to take care of those. I mean, this is pretty much the one ticket for him to win this game. He needs to keep these siege tanks alive. Needs to stop Innovation from mining this location up until the point in time where he himself has this kind of secured. Will he be able to do that though? That is a good question, as Innovation is just ensembling a massive mech army himself here up on the high ground, making a 3rd base. He's like, you know what, if I can't mine, then I'm gonna try to get my keep my economic advantage some other way. The unsiege here for Cure moves backwards a little bit. Smart choice against those enemy siege tanks. Innovation squeezing himself forwards. Will be able to clean up one of those siege tanks right here. As that once again is a Banshee. Just continuously this Banshee harassment, forcing a lot of scans. I guess that is pretty good too, but I mean, those Banshees, they cost a lot of money. They do cost a lot of money. Now, he still did trade equally, and he did kill off like 20 extra SCVs here for innovation. Jeez Louise. Man, these guys really were just kind of meant to play one another, aren't they? Those Banshees really the saving grace indeed. I mean, I'm not sure if it's won entirely, but I mean, definitely putting himself in a great position this way. Ooh. Look at that one Marine. It's like, oh, quick. Get there. So the siege tank siege up again. Alright, now air dominance really showing its prowess. We'll be able to force those siege tanks out of siege mode. Cyclones pick off the siege tanks right now. And that is the end of the containments completely, entirely. Innovation still in a pretty good position though. Don't get me wrong. He has that third base up with the orbital already now as well. Alright, we'll have to see. This counterattack. What could this counterattack do? Air dominance here, incredibly important, of course, especially with that Liberator as well. Cyclone lock-ons to the Vikings, look at that. Q knows he really has to try and negate as much of the Viking count as possible here. As that is a scary thing he is facing right now. Two Cyclones trying to hold their own. But it looks like this third base needs to get lifted up, and oh, that was almost an orbital command center. That's very unfortunate, but has to cancel it, or in fact, of course, most likely lose it. Does secure it right now. Again, another Banshee just coming out of the woodworks. Being like, you know what, you can do that with your entire ground army, sure, but I have this one flying unit that can do quite a lot of similar stuff right here on the other side of the map. Not only denying mining here, but actually killing off 8 SCVs as well already so far. May even get some more. The Cyclone about to pop from this factory though. We'll be able to clean this up. Innovation returning in kind with his Liberator here in the main base. Another Banshee trying to come in. This one a little bit less fortunate with the amount of kills that it did manage to get. Innovation, I mean, he knew the starport was over here, right? I'm a bit surprised he never sent like a Cyclone over there to try and stop this from happening, because it's definitely keeping Cure in this game here. He killed off 37 workers in total, and I think only 2 of them were not by the hands of the Banshees, so Cure's up and down in TVTs. He combusted against TY in the GSL finals. Yeah, honestly, I do believe that is just a lot of pressure there as well for him, right? That was the first time he ever got into the GSL finals. Probably the tournament they all just kind of dream of winning. And then for it not to go into his favor, that is absolutely painful, of course. And I think TY just was a lot more composed overall. That being said, probably also the reason why Innovation would have made it a little bit closer in those finals. Probably feels a little bit more secure, probably feels a bit more comfortable on the stage, on such a big stage. He's been there multiple times. He's managed to win them multiple times as well. For saying how much damage Cure has done, it looks very even. Honestly, I mean, yes, Cure has done a lot of damage, but at the same time, he delayed his own bases quite a bit in exchange for this, right? So, I think this is the reason why it is that equal right now in the overall supplies, and maybe even a little bit in Innovation's favor right now. Because, you know what, he just overall supply-wise, he just seems to have a sturdy composition right now. I'm not sure. Let's take a look actually at the air composition. Okay, so he still has air dominance. It's only 2 Vikings, which he might lose because he's using them for harassment. He's pretending to be Banshee Vikings over here. They don't have cloak, unfortunately, so not as successful there. But they did find an opportunity here for the Cyclones to come in. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty darn awesome too. A cancel is forced, and the Cyclones do skedaddle on out of there, but that's pretty nice, especially considering Innovation already having that 4th base almost ready right now. Let's go back to the production upgrades, pretty close together as well. And Liberators, alright, look at that, Liberators. Oh, alright, Luxon coming first from Cure right here. We'll be able to pick off those most of those Cyclones, but of course needs to pay attention at home here. It loses only 3 workers so far. That's very, very respectable, and cleans them up. So very well done there. Only 2 siege tanks here for Innovation, but look at that, beautiful game sense. Sees the scan go off and immediately realizes very likely that I'm being pushed from this location, and sets up shop. That's the Liberators right there, getting locked onto by the Cyclones though. We'll be able to pick off both of them, I think. Ooh, the siege tanks. It's so hard to call. This is so hard to call. I think Cure just has to move backwards, right? I don't think he'll get a lot of stuff sorted out here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, gets the heck out of dodge. Needs to tuck his tail between his legs and scurry on out of there. Alright, now I think with that attempt of a break on that 3rd base, I think Innovation really kind of solidified the lead that he had already a slightly bit ahead before that with the army supply. Now, you know what, it is about 50 extra % army supply here for Innovation. To be fair, I'm pretty sure he has still a good amount of stuff at home as well. I kind of want to take a look. Okay, it looks like they're slowing it down. Let's see, how much does he still have? Okay, that's not too much, honestly. But of course, that is still a little bit enough. It might be enough for Cure to still be able to keep this alive over here. Oh my god, those siege tanks. This line of siege tanks is so absolutely beautiful. Because that's just going to obliterate any type of Cyclone army that tries to get close. And GG is called. Innovation manages to clean up the siege tanks and manages to secure himself game number 3. Lovely, really enjoying your casting. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Inno's getting better of the trades. Yeah, for sure. What a mess. Suddenly, Inno has a fully supply lead. Yeah. I mean, it goes quickly with TVT, right? You're just sitting there and all of a sudden, you know what, you're like, I may have an opportunity here. There's only 2 siege tanks there. What's the worst that could happen? You get yourself against that position, and then all of a sudden it's like, alright, well, I mean, wait a moment. Where do these Liberators come from? Where did those Cyclones, where did those other siege tanks come from? And, yeah. Then half your army just, and it's gone. It's just gone. Goliath, thank you as well. Who is Goliath? Who are you, Goliath? Enjoy your casting more if you wear pants. Well, it's too warm. It's too warm to wear pants right now. Alright. Matisse, what's up, my man? Matisse, you want to join me for some Sioux games, maybe? Are you up? Are you up for it? Are you down? Are you up? Are you in the mood, in the middle space? For those of you who don't know Matisse, he is a very smart StarCraft 2 coach. Sometimes comes in and helps him with some casting. It's been a long time since he did so, but you know what? Would be fun. Would be fun. That is the real Matisse, of course. Cure needs a coach. Well, I mean, he needs to hit up. Matisse. To be fair, I mean, did you not see that game number 2? how he dismantled that mech army with the bio forces. That was that was some juicy stuff right there. And honestly, that went so well for him. I'm surprised that we're not seeing more of the overall bio play from Kyo. Bio bigger than mech. I mean, I like bio better than mech, but so far, ultimately, I see mech win more against bio than I see bio win against mech. I look like a Teletubby when my shirt goes... Let me see, like this. Don't I? when that's the white, the snow screen. How's that called again? I don't know. Interference matrix. Interference matrix on my shirt. I'm not allowed to cast or do anything when that happens. Static. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Goliath. Alright. Well, on match points, we have him over here. It's the Red Terran man himself. Kaisi Gaming's Innovation. And I mean, people call him the beast of the online markets. He's been an absolute thorn in the side of a lot of online players and in a lot of online tournaments, just making it look just unfair overall, alright? But it looks like this time around he has found his match. Will he be able to get 2 games in a row, though? If anyone can do it against the, against this Red Terran Innovation, it may very well be this Blue Terran. He's Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He is a cure. It's not the entirety of Dragon Phoenix Gaming, don't get me wrong. But he's a large part of it, of course. Inno pioneered the libs with the Cyclones and nobody is adapting. It's sad. Everyone except Rainer and Cyril. Okay. Matter of fact, Heal carried Marines. Ooh. It kind of would make sense, right? In a way. Why would they have the capabilities of shooting down a green beam of light that heals people, but then they don't have, like, I don't know, band-aids, or, I don't know, some sort of, well, I don't know, actually. something up on that ship to give these guys some medical aid at some point. Anyway, second command center for Innovation and second command center for Cure. Both these players going the greedy route this time around, and that's what we like to see. That's what we would love to see. Some more of that macro play, of course. No barracks being proxied and immediately somebody having some sort of an advantage. Although for some reason, Innovation twice now getting the victory, even though his barracks got very quickly scouted and he was kind of in this weird predicament, right? But he won those games. The game where he didn't go for the proxy racks, he lost. He lost that one. Because, I mean, I know there's a lot more stuff in StarCraft 2. We can't just base it on whether or not Innovation is proxying his racks, but I would love to see Cure now win this one, and then Innovation proxy a racks, get scouted, and win that one somehow again as well. That's my dream. It's my dream for StarCraft 2 too. It's one of those things where you're like, how do you call it? Confirmation bias or something like that, where you're like, you see, every time this happens, this happens. No, it has nothing to do with one another. I'm pretty sure that's a more scientific name overall, but man, I love that. Humans, man, humans are silly. All right. Anyway. What's happening? What is happening? They both went for the 1-1-1, so it's still up in the air what they are going to be doing. I think Innovation, pretty clear, will go for the mech. It's been a long time since I've seen him do anything else but mech play, especially in TVT. So we'll have to wait and see. Cure, of course, what he will be doing. Getting himself that tech lab on that factory as well. We'll start the Raven production. Already a reasonable amount of Marines here. Still pumping out those Marines instead of making Hellions or anything of that sort. Cyclone still a possibility, of course. You want to get that Cyclone anyway. Correlation fallacy. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Inchtomaniac. You're a smart guy. You're a very smart guy. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. So, false cause. Yeah. So people see one thing happening and then they're like, oh, wow, this must mean that's this one thing happening. And then the other thing that continuously happens behind it, this must be the reason. And then they don't look into the other, you know what, the other factors that will contribute with stuff like this. What's in there? What are you doing, Innovation? Get the heck out of here. Stop it. Stop it. No, don't do it. Don't just kill everything right now. Okay, it looks like we're okay. Sorry guys, I had to yell at him for a moment there. I mean, imagine that. Imagine this series just ending like that, with a bunch of Hellions running into the natural base and Cure being out of position. that would be bad for StarCraft 2 overall. These players need to learn this sometimes. Alright, anyway. I hope he's learned his lesson now. 2 engineering base. Innovation. You don't need 2 engineering base when you are going full mech. So, nor do you need stim, necessarily. I don't know what is happening here. This is very weird. 3 barracks? Interesting. On the other side... Oh my god, we are actually having bio versus bio as well. I'm getting very stoked for this one right now. Alright. Another thing to keep in mind, of course, is how many of those Ravens are actually going to be out on the field. Innovation using his Ravens a bit more for harassment right now. Kure had to use his Raven for the defense, so he doesn't really have that much energy. So it makes sense that he's keeping this one at home a little bit more. Alright. Auto turrets coming in. And getting 2 kills. Alright, good job. Good job. You know, it's just energy, right? It will roll back eventually. Third base for Innovation as well. So that's another third base for Cure. Attempting some drop play here. Let's see, there's not that much in the main base right now. There is the Cyclone moving out, but doesn't look like he will be able to intercept this. Oh, this is nice though. A couple of Marines, they should be able to get the sights of these medevacs before actually them reaching the main base. So we'll already be able to send his units this way. Innovation may still have some difficulty cleaning this up though. Only having 2 siege tanks himself. He does have that Raven, but of course there's the Raven as well for Cure. SCVs as well, right? Yeah, overall, reasonable trade for Cure. Killing off a lot of the SCVs right now. Really targeting those down. 17 of them actually falling. And the third base for Innovation may be under a little bit of pressure as well right now with, well, first and foremost, a lot of the Marines from the top side coming in as well from the bottom. The Hellion doing a lot of damage right there as well. Massive AoE, and here we go. More. Oh my dear lord, the SCVs are just they're gonna have to write a whole load of checks to the children of those SCVs, as they will not be having their parents' SCVs anymore, providing them any sort of support. This is starting to get quite gruesome actually. Cure, he is dismantling Innovation. Innovation having an absolute horrendous time overall holding this. And, well, there you go. GG is called. Innovation just, I mean, that was just completely out of position there a couple of times. It felt like if he just kept like 1 or 2 siege tanks, maybe in the middle of the base, right? Up on the cliff side, next to the third base. Maybe that way he would have been able to kind of save both of those locations at the same time. But instead, what happens really was Innovation trying to move back and forth between those 2 locations. And Cure just punishing Innovation, making him look a little bit silly for taking the triangular base shape instead of just the, you know, the line shape. Which makes it a lot easier for the defending player to kind of safeguard against drops like that. Alright. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. By the way, guys, remember we do have that Matcherino page. It would be greatly appreciated. There's a lot of codes still remaining, and you know what? It helps us out. It helps these players out get a little bit of extra money as well. And I would very much appreciate any type of support that you could give us over there. There's some codes. There's also a good amount of quests as well. Right over here, you can press contribute. The code is AX500DJ. Simply simple as that. Sign in to contribute, though, of course. I already did it, so I'm not allowed to do it again. Anyway, there's a couple of quests over here as well. Easy stuff. Lenovo Legion Gaming Community. There's some cool stuff over here that you can make use of. Getting yourself acquainted with this community. Seems to be a good stuff. They have some good pro video stuff. Just, you know, kind of tutorial-like kind of situations. So, they're a cool place that... you know what, supports esports, overall supports not only StarCraft 2, but a lot of other games as well. And they're planning to do a whole boatload more, and hopefully we can convince them to keep StarCraft 2 in there as well, if we just have enough of the overall interaction with those quests from pages like ours. Alright, in the bottom left side, there is a red Terran player. You know what, once again proving to us that, in fact... if you play it right, Bio definitely capable of beating another Bio player, I suppose. But he did have more siege tanks, so... wait, I'm on the wrong side. In the top right, I mean. Proving us... Jeez Louise. Alright, good morning. Good morning, Kozan. Anyway. Showing us once more that Bio can be pretty darn impressive as long as you control it correctly. He is... Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. Did Vindictus, or did Uthermal send a lot of people here? Where am I from? I'm from the Haarlem region. Buncheskai. Buncheskai? Is that how you say it? What is happening here? How does everybody know me by name? That's weird. And how do you know I'm Dutch? Who sent you? Anyway, alright, in the bottom left side, here he is. It's not Cure, as I've learned before. He is the red Terran player, none other than Kaisi Gaming's Innovation. Alright. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, I suppose. Rainer better than Cyril? I don't know. Going good. Alright, nice. Because all Dutchmen are either called Kevin or Simon, apparently. This is true. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It may be something to do with the name. That just, like, forces you to be... You know what I think, actually? Why I think those types of people feel very close to StarCraft 2 is because... well, first and foremost... Simon and Star, I don't know, it already sounds a little bit like each other, right? It both starts with an S. And then Kraft and Kevin, right? Kraft, Kevin, Kraft. I mean, it sounds pretty similar to, might be a bit of a stretch. I'm stretching here a little bit, but overall, I think it's just people that appreciate hearing their own name. And then being like, you know, this game kind of sounds like my name. This is my game. From now on... Either that, or they're just smart people. The worst explanation of anything ever. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's true, though. I mean, the evidence not lying here, Inchtomaniac. It's pretty clear. Alright, well, Innovation, once again, attempting to do a little bit of harassment right here. Might be able to get on top of that Cyclone. Gets on the high ground, though. Good maneuvering with that, how he doesn't let it get picked off. But, of course, Kiestu has those two Reapers as well. And those will, in fact, get quite a bit of damage done. Slowing down that command center just a little bit, okay. Another SCV was on the way. Slowing down the gas as well. Scouting the gas, the third gas being taken here. So, already giving a bit of an inclination as mech will be a likely possibility here for Innovation again. I think that is kind of his bread and butter, isn't it? Really what he thrives with. As I said before, going for the bioplay that previous game really didn't quite work out for him as you'd hope it would. Okay. Anyway, work account here now heavily in favor for Cure. A good, well-sorted position, and we'll have to wait and see what he is planning to go for as well. There's the another gas being taken by Inno. Let's see if Cure sticks on that 3 gas. It's not really. Okay, another command center. Alright, alright. Things calm down. Once more. It was like 13 when he played in Pro League. Yeah, when he won Star League after his StarCraft 2 career. No. I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit bad at keeping up with the chat overall. Best player we ever saw in Brood War. That is true. Flash is the best player that we've ever seen in Brood War. It was a lot of fun seeing him in StarCraft 2 as well for as long as it lasted. You know, there was a lot of hype and continuously people just being like, alright, what if suddenly we start to see the Brood War Flash right now in StarCraft 2? That would be pretty nice. Okay, that Banshee not getting the greatest amount of damage done, but at the same time, a Reaper over here will be able to pick up some units, and it doesn't look like... Okay, there's the Cyclone. Will respond to this. Will lose one more. Yes, he will. Alright, that Reaper definitely paying for itself. You don't see Reapers at the same time as Banshees doing more damage than the Banshee. But kind of seems to be the case here for the Reapers today. They are absolutely lethal. 9 workers so far already having been taken out. Almost a 10 worker deficit right now. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Oh, Ravens. And Interference Matrix does come in here. One more Siege Tank saves the day, I think. Innovation, maybe he was on the impression that he would have 2 Interference Matrixes. Kind of moving towards that second Siege Tank on the high ground there. Made it look like he was trying to click on it and then realized, oh wait, hold up. Hold up. Not enough energy. Otherwise that could have been pretty darn good for him, but instead taking a bit of a punch on the nose right there. And I mean, it's not like that was a hidden Siege Tank either, right? He fully saw that. Raven over here in the main base. Ooh, looks like that will get killed off though. But nice targeting there. Will force as many SCV kills as possible. Okay, no, goes for the Viking afterwards. Does still get the Viking as well, but loses one of the Ravens there. Both players now stuck on the 1 Raven for now. But yeah, just look at the overall production tab right now. I think that is telling the story. And I think the income graph is telling the story as well. Army supply here for Cure. It's still a little bit similar, but I feel like that's going to go up rather quickly here. As we have approached more than 20 difference in the SCV counts right now. In favor for Cure. 14 workers have been picked off by just some loose here and there harassments. And Innovation just not looking as crisp as I am, you know what, kind of familiar with him for. Alright, maybe this could be a turning point. Oh my god, he's just pulling all the SCVs. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, yes, you're allowed to lose a couple of them. Okay, he only loses 4 so far, actually. They're all low, though. 7. He cleans this up. Oh, boy. 10. Okay, GG. Woohoo! Alright. Alright, nice. Innovation was still making the other base. He was still making SCVs as well. So... I think he was just kind of overall... I think if I was like a GSL match or a really massive tournament, maybe he would have tried to stick in there. But I mean, to be fair, that was quite a horrid situation for him, and GGing out of there. You know what? I can't blame him. He was behind. He kept taking damage, and even after killing those SCVs right there, he was still behind with like 20 SCVs and then some. So that was a problem. Anyway, guys, coming up right now will be the next one. The next one, which of course will be none other than Sue versus Stats. They match up that I've been looking forward to for quite a while now. Whoever wins this one, this best of 5, will take it into the finals versus Cure. And Cure, I mean, he is known as the online beast. I am a little bit surprised, honestly, as well, that he still managed to beat Innovation, even though he fell behind with actually both of the times, didn't he? Innovation took game 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did. And then he got ahead again in game 3, and then Cure just being like, you know what? No, I'm going to dig my heels into the ground, get myself pulled up from my jock straps, and start kicking some ass, and take some games, and take Innovation's name in particular. All right. Will Cure and Innovation play each other again in 1 hour and 30 minutes? I don't think so, because, wait, maybe in a different tournament? Not here, at least. That's for certain. What we're going to be doing is Stats versus Sue, and then afterwards, the winner of this one versus Cure. Also, by the way, let me do a quick little sponsor thingamajig right here for you guys. And you know what? I've never seen this one, so let's say hi to Rushy and see what's up with him.
My name is Rushy, and thanks for watching our StarCraft 2 content brought to you by Alpha X. Productions like this are made possible by support from our sponsors, like Cremo Company, the maker of men's grooming products designed with good uncommon scents, like bourbon and oak. It's a smooth, lively scent designed by Cremo's scent experts with a layered blend of distillers' spices, bourbon, and white oak. It's just one of the many uncommon scents you can experience in Cremo body wash, body bars, barber-grade shampoo, and their new antiperspirants and deodorants. Check out their sponsor quest to learn more about Cremo, or look them up at cremocompany.com. Thank you for supporting Alpha X, and thank you for considering checking out our awesome sponsors. Now, let's head back to the action.
I see. Yeah, I see. I'm muted. I thought you guys meant the video was muted. That's funny. That is funny. It's just a little joke I like to pull sometimes, you know. It's just my sense of humor making me look like an idiot. Nice. That's what it comes down to. Yep. Alright. We're all good. Alright. I thought, let me be professional and mute my microphone as the video is playing. So yeah, I can't hear the sound of Rushy either. His prompter was too low. Wait, what? Was Xerxes the kind of hyping tournaments? The king of hyping tournaments. Is that true? I mean, if that would be the case, then I mean, it wouldn't really have of any impact on this one, because all these players are from the same region. We're playing on their servers, so, you know what, that's always nice. That's always the best, isn't it, when that happens? You have these players all from the same region, kind of capable of playing on their own server. It really is one of those things where maybe in the end, after all this Corona stuff, right? Are we still going back for just mainly the region to offline events the way we used to have them? Just because of the added in benefit you get of everyone being in the same region, everyone having very low ping and such. I don't know. Or is it just a new reality that we're just gonna have to take into account? To be fair, honestly, I do think there are ways that you can make it pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable overall, right? We do it as well sometimes in certain situations, but I mean, this is still the best, though. This is, of course, still the best. Just having 2 Korean players fighting it out on the Korean server. Well, you know what? 2 European pros fighting it out on the European server. Anyway, Alright, guys, I have been waiting for this one for quite a while. Let's do some introducing of these two players right here in the bottom left side. We have ourselves the red Protoss. He is fighting for the Africa Freaks. Is he the best Protoss right now? He very well maybe. He is. Stats. Stats, the one who wrecks. And in the bottom right side, there is a blue Zerg. Getting his hatchery blocked like a fool. He is none other than the also Africa Freaks, Sue. Man, oh man. These two players, of course, teammates. Now having to fight it out in a best of 5 to see who will be able to get themselves their hands on the higher prize amount, of course, the prize pool overall. Talking about the prize pool, guys, don't forget in these starting up moments where nothing that interesting is happening, the Match Arena page is still a thing. We still have, I heard, a lot of codes left, and I think we can bump up the prize pool with just about like an extra 100 or 200 bucks if we get that, if we get those codes sorted out and filled in. And who doesn't want to give 100 or 200 extra dollars for these players? Am I right? That's right. That's right. You would be selfish too, especially because it's not even your money. How do you call this? When you're not spending somebody else's money to the benefits of the entire thing. It's not really selfish. It's, I think we may just have to call it a little bit ill-witted. I don't mean to be rude. I feel like that may be the case. Stat should aim for early win. Late game, Zerg is very strong against Protoss. Well, I mean, that is kind of the trend that we have been seeing for a while now. But to be fair, some people do manage to get quite a bit of success against Zergs in the later parts as well still. Using a different type of style, much like a little bit more of a gateway style, using a lot of blink stalkers, being very harassment orientated, almost playing like a bio Terran in a sense. Oh, again, getting another hedge block over here. But then again, that may just be me really being a big fan of Estrella and everything he does in the PvZ matchup. But I do believe that that is kind of the ticket for the Protoss to start innovating. Stargate opening here for stats will be scouted immediately as well. And you know what, stats also getting a pretty good scout here. Sees that there's still no third base. Having, oh, Bevo is giving a tier 1 sub to the AlphaX community. Thank you very much. Stalker 95000. Welcome to the community, my friend. Thank you for joining in for all those lovely games and hanging out with us. And thank you, Pavo, of course, for being generous. Being a generous man. Now, this is a lot of Zerglings that have been created by Sue. He did get that third base blocked quite a couple of times, so I feel like this is a bit of an anger response. I'm not sure if this is going to work out perfectly. Maybe also, of course, because he saw the Stargates. Now, this is going to keep this Oracle at home, so he's not going to take any drone damage. He's not going to have to pull any drones. But that is quite a large amount of Zerglings, of course. That's a big investment. And that's going to cause him not to have that many drones right now, right? Especially because his overall production already a bit stifled because of those hatchery blocks continuously. Oracle still managing to get himself across the map here. You have a solid amount of adepts as well, so those Zerglings are really not going to get anything done anymore. At least they shouldn't. They really shouldn't, right? Maybe they will at some point get a run by going if those adepts do decide to leave the base, but ultimately, nothing that bad. Thanks for doing that. By the way, a nice casting, Alpha X. Thank you, Nostra Beefs. Thank you very much. I try very hard. Alright. Some more drones in the production tab right now. We still have a bit of an influx of those links. Is this really just to keep stats kind of preoccupied here? He is No one just getting at third base to the lowest side. There's no Overlord nearby to really scout this. It's kind of helping out with the Phoenixes, of course, being able to clean up all those Overlords. So it's tricky for Su to really figure out. He may have an inclination, right? But at the moment in time, he needs to take the possibility of a big 2-base attack of stats coming out as well relatively soon. This is why we are seeing, I think, the Roach Warren right now being constructed. Let's see if he will start making a lot of Roaches here as well. I mean, it's a lot of Overlords on the production tab. Usually that is an indicator of the Zerg player wanting to get a lot of the Roaches. But instead, you know what? More drones instead. And a Spire, actually. Interesting. We're still losing a good amount of Overlords here. Now really starting to do the harassment with those Phoenixes. Enough queens in the natural base, right? 3 queens. No, we'll be able to just jump on top of it. Actually, there's no Spore Crawler here. That is finished. Oh, Su. Su, you sweet summer child. Never expected this amount of Phoenixes to come out and immediately just kind of shoot the blue poop right in the faces of those drones and queens. And this is starting to snowball. This is starting to snowball quite a bit, actually, especially considering Su. He didn't have that many drones to begin with, right? Because of all those Zerglings that he made. Right, what else are we having here? Oh boy. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly Furtado. I don't think this is ever going to really get remedied, right? This is just so much damage right now being taken. He's continuing the drone production. He's just trying to remake all the drones he's losing. He does have a pretty good opportunity here to make the Corruptors. There we go. 3 Corruptors only, though. He doesn't have that much minerals left. This is rough. 4 Corruptors right now. And they might be able to zone away the Phoenixes, but of course it's not quite capable of catching the Phoenixes, usually. So, unless his stats messes up his micro here. And, oh man, I mean, he's continuously had 8. Okay, so he was on 10 Phoenix. He really didn't make that many more, but the amount of damage that he managed to achieve with those is rather ridiculous. It is Rotty levels of a Phoenix damage right here. Maybe a little bit less, but I'm sure Rotty would have been able to kill off, you know, at least 2 fully saturated hatcheries. But you know what? You can't win them all. You can't win them all. Stats doing a pretty darn good impression. Couple of cannons now being constructed, as well as the shield battery, realizing that you know what, the Spire was created. And Su, I mean, I feel like with the just overall everything that's happening a couple of times already, I was like, you know what, maybe he should just go for a big counterattack, right? Just start making those roaches, start going across the map. The Phoenixes are quite high in numbers, so I mean, as long as you have enough links and maybe banelings, roaches, stuff like that, you should be able to make it across the map and start dealing damage before those Phoenixes really are able to clean everything up. But now, I don't think that is the right call anymore at all. I think Su, he does, in fact, it looks like he just wants to get into the late game situation here. Continuing to make more bases. But, you know what? This is a scary looking army for stats right now. He dealt a damage, and we're still seeing more drones on the production tab. And that's the exact opposite of what had to happen right here. Oh boy, okay, well, does get himself Ravagers in time. Gets a couple of Banelings as well. Doesn't have Baneling speed just quite yet. Corruptors looking for the War Prism as well. Okay, okay. Stats moves backwards. I think, you know, I think he could have taken a fight there, but overall, playing it safe right here, wants to get himself into a later part of this game. And I can't blame him for that. That is all good as well. But, well, also, of course, you have to keep in mind, as long as you kind of just As long as you kind of force your opponent as the Zerg player to make those roaches, make those Zerglings right now, that means it's gonna take a longer time to get himself into a late game army composition, right? He does have the Spire, but he doesn't have an infestation pit, he doesn't have the hive tech, and those are all things that you're kind of like, well, I could invest into these types of attacks, but then maybe I won't have enough money to hold off this attack, and then I could die, right? That is the problem. So overall, just kind of posturing out on the map versus a Zerg player can be very, very useful sometimes. A couple of Zerglings getting caught. On the top side, we have a big army of Zealots marching across right here. It looks like it did get spotted, as we have those Zerglings already in position here. Or maybe just anticipating this movement right now. Very, very smart, or just some star sense right there from Su. Stats, once again, at the front lines right here, will be posturing, looking pretty good. The Archons and Immortals trying to soak up all the damage of the Banelings right now. And they're doing a good job so far. This army supply for Su still looking pretty strong, but I mean, just the overall army value for stats, of course, that's where it gets really scary here. They are quite the heavy hitters, but there's just so many Banelings right now being constructed. 22 more on the menu, 14 already available. That should be enough to make Stats reconsider his actions right here. Right, yeah, needs to be careful. If he does take this fight, he needs to be spread out. Even with those Archons, that could be a scary thing. Couple of Zerglings, yeah, attempting to do some damage over there, but cannons and shield batteries, the best friend of any Protoss expansion. Right. So War Prism in the middle, a War Prism on the top. Oh, here we go, here we go. Okay, the Banelings really committing to it right now. The army of Stats is pretty clumped up. And that is going to cost him quite dearly here, losing an enormous portion of his forces at the top side. Yes, he does still have these forces too. Archons there may have been very useful to have at the bottom side. Ooh, that War Prism just barely staying alive here. Staying inside of that. Oh, but the shield battery's already empty out now as well. I think Stats should be able to hold here. And Su, oh no, the, the counter-aggression for Stats, it has come to a halt. Okay, there we go, continuing onwards now again. Well, they could have gotten quite a bit more, mostly Zerglings there. That's going to be a great trade for Stats overall, so cost-efficient killing of those Archons and the Zealots, but they do get cleaned up ultimately. And, I mean, oh my dear lord, with all that gas being lost in the middle here, I'm not quite sure if this is gonna work out for Stats anymore. Corruptus on the top side, will be able to pick this up. And no escape from that situation. The Zealots wisely back up as Zerglings, Banelings, Ravagers, and all that good Zerg stuff comes right down on top of them to that same location. Alright, we do have Storm now available as well. A nice bit of AoE damage, and that's going to help out against those Banelings, of course. Those Baneling numbers will, of course, suffer against the Storm quite a bit. Especially if there are any fights off of creep. And there's not that much creep available for Su right now. There's another base over here for Stats. He's really encroaching upon the main base territory of Su. And that could cause him to have a nice opportunity to go in there as well, right? At some point. I would love to see Stats mining out these minerals right here. And then being able to get right on top of all the very oh so important tech structures of the Zerg. We'll have to wait and see. So far, just mainly holding the middle grounds right now. Ensuring that nothing gets through here on his side of the map. And letting Su take the top side so far. With, you know what, still some harassment potential from those Zealots and the War Prism. How many Corruptors do we still have? We have 0 right now. Okay, so that's not going to clean it up anymore. 4 more on the production tab. There's a good amount of Brute Lords now available, though. Okay. Playing it safe. Not committing to those. Yeah, that would be... That could potentially be quite a mistake, of course. Sending those Brute Lords out on their own. Don't want that to happen. Fleet beacon now being constructed as well. Is it too little too late though? Does Stats still have enough time before the fight with the Brute Lords will make enough casualties of the Protoss forces right here? In fights like these, oh my dear lord, the middle has been busted. Zerglings, Banelings, Ravagers, all the great stuff now moving through the middle. Shield batteries are available in this location though, so that is a big boon. Storms are dropping on top of the Zerglings, but at the top side, those Brute Lords, they are looking absolutely merciless. Killing off so many of the Starks right now. The Archons also attempting to get closer to those Brute Lords, but at the same time, they need to tank against the Banelings. And, well, I mean, this is a little bit close still. There's a good amount of Stalkers remaining. Archons as well. Looks like he will clean this up, but at the same time losing this base here just to the left of this. Attempting a run by with Zealots again, being caught out by Su. He's really on top of continuously those run bys with the Zealots. Not taking any damage from that, and 36 workers go down up in flames, or up in goo and spitballs, because that's pretty much the main way that the Zerg likes to attack here, of course. Blinkstalkers on the wrong side of town here, being fully surrounded. More Brute Lords are being constructed as well, just a couple of meters away from this location. And everything. All the Stalkers now being killed off by the Zerglings. The Archons as well. GG is called. Stats not being able to get himself into the late game tech in time. And of course losing a big portion of his army there in the middle of the map against the Banelings, against the Ravagers as well, which really wasn't supposed to happen there. Those Baneling hits were disgusting. Now, of course, we have to remember that was still off of the back of some pretty reasonable Phoenix harassment. But, I mean, if we look at the graph over here, I don't know if you guys can see it very well. I guess I can show you guys real quick. I mean, overall, yes, we had like, what was it, 20 worker kills or something like that. It never was that at a big deficit, right? Su continuously just remaking those drones and knowing very well how many ground forces he needed against any potential other follow-up attack. And played it very nicely, played it incredibly well, making a bit of a comeback there from quite a bit of damage that he was taking. All right, now stats. Game number 2. Let's see what we're gonna do on Death Aura. Death Aura. What would this facilitate more so for the Protoss play? And are we gonna see the Adapt Glaives as well? I think Stats is trying to kind of step away from that that type of strategy too, which I think is a great way to do it, right? You want to make it a bit more of a surprise when it starts to hit, instead of just kind of like, all right, well, I guess they're doing this again, and allowing Zergs to just blindly prep for something similar, or that exact same thing continuously over and over, hitting them on the head. Ultimately, the Zergs are gonna know just to move their head away from the hammer that the Protoss is trying to hit the same place with over and over again. But anyway, yeah, first game going for Su's favor. We'll have to see if he will be able to keep that going. Let me see. Let's play an ad as well. And do we need a minute here? No, I think we're okay. Let me grab a drink myself. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Countdown is started. Delicious. Alright. Let's see. Stats and Su. They haven't met each other quite yet in this tournament. But I mean, Stats did manage to beat Great Zerg so far. Like Rogue, right? He beat Rogue 2-0. And I think he was up against Armani as well. Okay, no, he didn't beat Armani. So, mostly Rogue. He beat Rogue quite badly. And other than that, not that much PvZ that he had to do so far. It doesn't mean that he's not good at it. Of course, I mean, it's Bloody stats, after all. You beat a League of Legends player. Alright. Alright. Calm down. Rogue's still pretty darn strong as well. Again, going across the field here with the probe once more. Wants to get himself the hatchery block. But anyway, let's introduce him. The Red Protoss from the Afrika Freaks. He is Stats. Bottom right side, there he is, the blue Zerg. Fighting for, well, you guessed it, more Afrika Freaks. He is Sue. So yeah, Sue and Stats being on the same team, they must be playing quite a bit together, you would assume, right? You would assume, so maybe that already as well. Adding into the overall mind games here. Doing something weird. Overall from Stats, most likely may work out a little bit better because of this. And then again, we don't know exactly how they play against one another either, so maybe that is the moment when he does try to do the weird things, but anyway. It's mindless speculation. It's, yes. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. There we go. It's because I switched the names, I think, as well. Maybe that's it. I could be wrong. Anyway. Thank you for the heads up. We're good again. Sue is the best Zerg Korean player right now. I'm not sure if that is completely agreeable for me, but maybe. Maybe. I mean, he's definitely one of the best. I won't disagree with that. But you still have some pretty darn impressive Zergs, such as, it does feel a little bit like a hype train that's going on right now, but DRG, DRG, he is pretty darn fine, isn't he? He's pretty darn good at the moment again. Dark as well. Dark still an absolute beefcake for player 2. We'll punch some holes through the overall self-confidence of a lot of players. Ragnarok the best. Yeah, Ragnarok as well, of course. Who else? Who else do we have? Oh well. Anyway, once again the Stargate opening. Looks like once again it's gonna get scouted here. Stats a little bit, just not having a unit in the wall here twice in a row now. That's going to put Sue in a pretty good position here. Once more realizing, alright, I can get away with quite a bit more droning as long as I get myself the extra queens in the bases and spore crawlers at the right time. Should be absolutely fine. Dabs here trying to get a bit more damage sorted out. There we go, already getting 3. Let's see if he gets another one. I don't think he should. Yeah, alright, only gets 3. Not the greatest, of course. Would like to see a bit more, but Solar can be like the best. Oh, look, not so good. Yeah, that's true. Solar as well. Solar is insane. I think the problem for Solar, what I feel like, is that he just misjudges the situations now and again. So then he gets himself in a really good position. He does a good build, or he does some lovely micro, or takes a good fight, and then like he just kind of misjudges the situation, or something that he tries doesn't really work afterwards. There's a follow-up, and then stuff like that, right? That you really have to iron out if you want to be considered as one of the best. You need to be able to read those types of situations perfectly. Well, you gotta figure it out. Might as well not watch. Oh boy. I haven't figured out this yet though. Stats and Sue. Either of these players can clearly get this winning in their pocket. And try to go up against Cure in those best of 7 finals afterwards. Personally, I wouldn't be upset with either of these players. Stats or Sue. Stats, he's just one of those Protoss players that I love to watch. I'm not a Protoss player, I don't like to watch. Oh dear lord. That's not supposed to happen, no. Oh boy. Alright, anyway. But yes, that's definitely one of those players that you just love to watch. Very creative, very strong player. He's an awesome guy. Overall, very jolly, nice, spirited, and all that good stuff. Always a good time to see him in interviews. Great personality, and you know what? Somebody that you just kind of want to win because of all those things, right? He's very easy to be a fan of Stats because of all of this. And then his play just kind of makes it even better, right? Just him being this good at StarCraft 2 overall. A little bit of Oracle harassment there. Did manage to clean up a queen. Trying to get some of the drones as well. Spore Crawler here making it difficult though for them to really get massive amounts of damage going. But you know what? Again, 5 workers there picked off. Brings the total to 13 right now. Not as many as the previous time, but of course we have a lot less of an investment into the Air Armada as well this time for Stats, right? 3 Oracles instead of, what was it, an Oracle and 10 Phoenixes. Which didn't really pay for themselves anymore later on in the game. Gets out of there again as well. Keeps those Oracles alive. Still has the 3 Oracles. Warp Prism. Gonna shake hands and let the Warp Prism try his thing this time around. That's right. Not gonna get through this time around. Although those adepts still a little bit further backwards. Oh my dear lords, yeah. For a moment I thought as well that Su may be able to move himself through there, but not going to be the case now with 2 Zealots and 2 adepts right there. Really, nothing that bad should be happening anymore. This army of Stats, though. Still in the middle of the map. Ooh, gonna get Archons as well. Nice, beefy Archon boys. Let's see if they will be able to really punch a hole here. We mostly have slow banelings right now. Only 12 of them. A reasonable amount of Zerglings and Hydralisk. And seeing this army composition, Stats backs up, gets himself the Storm upgrade, and that's pretty darn cool. Oh no. Okay, he saw this. Nice. Okay, we'll be able to safeguard those probes, I hope. Oh boy. Okay, 2 of them so far. 5 of them. Okay, that could have been a whole lot worse. That could have been so much worse. Keeps most of his probes alive. Gonna set up status traps immediately, being like, alright, well, we need to be ready for that next time. And that is gonna be a great way to do so. Dragon Soul, what's up, my man? Good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining in with the stream. Hopping in, saying hi, saying hello. What did I say? I don't know what you said. I think you said Stetsu. M. Canning is here. Thank you for the follow. That's a funny name. It's a little bit confusing too for me, but alright, anyway. Zealot harassment here with the Warp Prism. Of course, a little bit tricky to really deal with the Hydras. Not the quickest unit in town. May want to consider getting themselves some of those mopeds, or however they're called. The sticks with the wheels underneath. Okay, calming down again. There's a good amount of overall counter aggression being set up here for Stats. Even finding a good amount of links here, attempting to do pretty much the same thing. This is an awkward close trade actually for just a small group of that. Oh my god, did Su just know exactly what he needed there? Did he just perfectly know exactly what he needed? Because that was a little bit silly. Okay, Mutalisk now into the main base. At the same time, we have the army of Su spreading out on the right side. attempting to find a good opportunity here. Setting off all the status traps first and foremost. Doesn't want to get trapped. Losing a lot of those Zerglings though in the process as well. On the other side of the map, we have Stats coming in with a good amount of Zealots as well. Trying to do some counter-aggression, but once more the Queens, the epitome of Zerg defense, come in and help out that situation right there. Up until the Zerglings were able to arrive here. We have a move out from Stats. Oh, okay, no, actually, never mind. Decides against it once more. War Prism gets taken out as well. And that was a good bit of damage there from Su, finding himself in a great position ahead in the workers. Upgrades. Let's take a look at the upgrades right now. Yeah, they're fairly similar. Very similar indeed. Stats gonna try to get himself once again the Fleet Beacon and the extra Stargates here as well. This time around a little bit earlier on, right? It's gonna be a long while before we really see those Broodlords popping, but mainly because, you know what, we're having to deal with Mutalisk right here. And that on its own already an incredibly tough thing to have to deal with. And I mean, Su, where in the world is he getting all this supply from? He has 96 workers behind this. Yeah, he has this big army of Banelings, Hydras and Zerglings being able to push the left side, all while having this big cluster of Mutalisk as well. 17 Mutalisk, absolutely tearing Stats apart right now on the in his fourth base and his natural. Losing, what's that, the third? That may have been the fourth base actually. Losing them anyway, right? No matter what they were called. Both of them go down. And man, Su is putting up a clinic of a ZVP over here. Doing some wonderful maneuvers there. Catching Stats off guard continuously. Making it very difficult for Stats to be able to hold up here. Even though he is now back on 2 bases, it still feels like it's just a scary situation for him overall. He can't really move out, or else you can kind of feel the tension in the air that he's just going to immediately lose most of his units as soon as he attempts to do anything of the sorts. Look at that. Sends the Mutalisk to the left side immediately. Gets the army there as well. And, well, that means he moves his Banelings and Zerglings to the right side of force fields. Oh my god, they were extremely juicy. Look at those. Getting some great value trading there. But, I mean, he needs a lot more like that in order to be able to start pushing across the map again. Small packs of Banelings now being utilized to try and set off some more of those storms. That was a great fight from Stats, but I mean, we've already seen so many great fights from Su that... I mean, and he's max supply right now. He's starting to really get that bank rolling. This is just a scary position still for Stats. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done here in order to get himself back into a fighting position. He does have those Phoenixes now, so he will be able to kind of hold off against those Mutalisk here, and we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be enough, of course, after, well, depending on what Su is going to be doing afterwards here. He already has the Great Aspire. It kind of doesn't matter that much anymore losing the Mutalisk here. He's going to be able to make Corruptus, and then he's going to be able to make the Broodlords. Apparently he already had Corruptus, so immediately goes for the Broodlords. Phoenixes still do alright against Broodlords, of course. Oh, man. I'm kind of feeling sorry for Stats at the moment, guys. I'm not sure if this game really went the way he wanted it to. And Su is, I mean, he's just merciless right now with everything that he's doing. Right, bit of counter-aggression here from Stats. To be fair, this opportunity now lies within the slow mobility of those Broodlords, right? If he can find himself some opportunities here, that would be great. Needs to just disengage whenever those Broodlords get close, though, of course. Cannot afford to lose valuable units like Archons and Immortals here, though. He's being chased. Needs to use his micro to not lose everything. Nice storm there. Keeping things at bay. Killed off 18 workers there. Killed off a base as well. But, like we said before, Su already having that bank right now. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Bang. Oh, the Zerglings coming in. on the right side still as well. Those the rest of the army of Stu make it impossible for Stats to comfortably try and deal with those circlings here, because he needs to still focus on this army at hand as well at the front base. Counter force on the bottom left side here. It looks like, you know, actually what, Stats may be able to still trade out okay here. Oh boy, those Phoenixes not really doing that much against the Broodlord, so you know what, no, it doesn't look good. He's gonna die here, unfortunately. GG is called. And yeah, that's gonna be a 2-0 right now. One game remaining for Stu to take. And Stats, he is in a tough situation here. Needs to win 3 games in a row. And that is gonna be rough. That is gonna be extremely rough. Alright. Oh. What happens? Time left the party. What did time... Okay. Maybe he needs to restart. Who knows? Alright, guys. We're gonna take a couple of minutes before we start the next game. The third game in this best of 5. Remember, I'm just gonna show you guys again here. We do have ourselves that Matcherino. Now, I heard there's still a lot of codes remaining. Hold up, let me just accept the invite. There we go. I did hear there's still a lot of codes remaining here for the Matcherino, so I believe we still can add like $100 or $200 extra dollars onto this prize pool overall, and that's always very nice, especially for the players and the didn't get that far overall, so they still get a bit of the percentage here, and that always is a nice thing for them to just, you know, show that we appreciate them, right? All the effort that they put in to these types of things. Other than that, we have those quests remaining as well. Of course, quite easy stuff. Visit a link right here for Legion. 10 cents added to the prize pool. What's this? Retweet something easy from Alpha B SC2. That's the B tweets from Alpha X. Very easy. 20 cents added to the prize pool. A survey, 50 cents. Visit the link, 10 cents. Just as easy as that. Just a quick click on a button. Maybe a couple of other clicks afterwards, but that's all you need to do. Subscribe to some amazing YouTube content as well. You don't even have to hit the bell necessarily. All you can do is just, you know what, subscribe to those YouTube channels. Get yourself well acquainted with those quests. And, you know what, all while, first and foremost, supporting StarCraft 2, supporting this tournament, and getting yourself more acclimated to everything behind the scenes that is supporting StarCraft 2, right? All those lovely companies and all those lovely places that either show a lot of StarCraft 2 on their channels or that support StarCraft 2 as a game. Now, other than that, if you already did most of the quest, if you already did the code as well, we have an entire replay pack available too, which is, of course... Oh, what happens? I don't know. Alright, we'll come back to that. Anyway, we have an entire replay pack available as well. That's going to allow you access to not just today, right? Not just these awesome games that are being played right now, but all these other games as well. We had 2 other group stages over here, and then we had these full group stages right here as well. Look at those, guys. Look at all those players that you will be able to analyze. Those are pretty much the highest tier names in the Korean scene right now. And some up-and-comers as well, which is just great to see what they are up to as well. Get yourself accustomed, acclimated with everything that's happening in StarCraft 2. Follow those builds. Maybe it's cool to, you know what, try to, if you want to cast or something like that, try some stuff out like that. You know what, getting these replay packs always a great benefit. And get yourself sorted. Anyway, yeah, and then, of course, the grand finals also will be within all of that. We have some jerseys, and we have a casted tip jar as well. That is a thing right there. And, yeah. Alright, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Help us out, guys. Help us out. Doesn't take that much effort. And it is a whole lot... well, it makes a world of difference for... not just us, but you know what other StarCraft 2 thinks as well, right? The more interactions StarCraft 2 gets on these types of websites, that means that it's more likely for other sponsors to come in and the old sponsors to stick around, right? Because they feel like they're getting a good return on their investments, which means StarCraft 2 overall will be able to stay around for a longer period of time as well. So go check it out, okay? It would be appreciated. If you can't, or you know what, if you don't want to buy the replay pack or anything like that, just being here, of course, already quite a great thing as well. Or just telling your friends that this is happening right now. Stats versus Sue, I mean, and then afterwards Cure as well. So pretty much no matter what race they're playing, it's gonna be pretty good for them here. Unless if Stats loses this next upcoming game, then it might be a bit of a bummer for them. But I mean, it's Stats. He should be able to take at least one game here, right? From Sue. I know Sue is good and all, but Stats, my dear lord. Maybe Stats is still trying to hide some overall strategies here as well, though. That could be the case. He has been doing the Stargate opening twice now. He's kind of been mixing it up a little bit with the Stargates. But, yeah. Alright. Alright. Let's get this started. Game number 3. Hilly Billy Joe, Frost and LM Ova, Heinz Breiter, Ray40FP, Elsame. Thank you all for those follows. I very much appreciate it, of course. Hope you guys are having a good time. And Ichi Jun as well now coming in as well. Very much appreciate all the attention you guys are giving us. It it helps us out as well, of course. Alright, let me switch up. There we go. Alright, here they are once more. In the bottom left side, we have ourselves that blue Zerg. Yes, for the Afrika Freaks. Here's Sue. Top right side, there he is, the red Protoss. Fighting for the Afrika Freaks as well. Sending his probe across the map, trying to get the hatchery block. He is Stats. Third game, third hatchery block. So far, it hasn't improved Stats' win rate, unfortunately. But maybe this one, the third time, will be the charm. Single probe gas mining. We'll send his new probes in there, I suppose. Pretty soon. Gonna go for us, you know, the Nexus after the gate. Just because, well, he saw the timing of the spawning pool, of course. Feels safe to do so. Boy Fantasy, tires of Zerg making 120 banelings and just one A-ing into Terran army. If that's the case, the Terran forgot that Widow Mines are a thing. Because if you have 120 banelings, one A-ing into a Terran army, then, I mean, there's no Widow Mines there then. So choose banelings versus both Bio and Mech successfully. Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, Terran, they use Bio versus Roach Hydra and Zergling Baneling both successfully. I don't see the point. I think a lot of it does come down to micro there, guys. It is an incredible micro battle, and honestly, I think it's in a pretty good spot myself. Pew pew. Circling's down. This time around, not gonna get scouted. Alright, well, until this Overlord decides to poke in, Just a little bit. Then immediately he will get a good inclination as to what is happening here. Alright. Right, it sounds like Boy Fantasy had a bad day on ladder today. Ooh, full workers there do go down. First Oracle on the way as well. Not sure if Sue already scouted that one or saw it coming. Should... actually. Don't see any response just yet. Okay, it's making one Spore Crawler somewhere else, which is at the main base, alright. This is actually starting to add up quite a bit here. 9 workers getting killed off. Oh, Zerglings do manage to get in here. It's only a couple of them though, so shouldn't be the biggest of deals. They do get themselves a free scout though, but you know what? Didn't nearly have to, of course. Right, Sue. Once again. Scouting it out, but I mean, he didn't really find anything that he didn't already know, right? He already was under pressure of the Oracles. Didn't necessarily need to get that scout off, but... you know what? Maybe he just kind of lost those Zerglings for not the greatest of reasons, honestly. Valiant's effort to do those types of run-bys, it almost works out. I got a little bit scared, honestly, seeing that I did get in there, but... I mean, adepts are pretty darn good against this type of stuff. Now, more adepts, quite a few of them coming across here. And even without the glaives, of course, they still two-shot a Zergling. And that is quite something. 3 Oracles here as well. Quite a bit of firepower, ready to jump on top of whatever the hell they can jump on top of. Alright, there they go. First engagement. The Zerglings here. Actually, okay, looking for the fight with those adepts. 1 Oracle did fall. Only finding 5 more drones here. Now, Stats is still in a pretty reasonable position. He needs to keep this space safe, but has the sentries and the adepts to do so. So, as long as he doesn't get the cancel on his 3rd base, which he doesn't, I'd say Stats is actually in the best position he's been in so far in this overall best of 5. Maybe jumping to conclusions, though, but like 17 worker kills there. That's pretty darn juicy. And... I am expecting him to get maybe some more stuff done here. But what kind of follow-up would you do in this position, right? Being Stats, I feel like there's a couple of things you can do. You can try to prep a timing attack still with those Immortals and the sentries that you already have accumulated. Or you could try to get yourself a little bit more heavy on the attack, right? So far, he is getting himself the Templar Archives. Could still be mostly for the Archons, of course. We have seen Stats making good use of the Archons so far, continuously. So going to go immediately for the Storm upgrade as well. Oh, Sue is already adding in an Infestation Pit as well, though, on the 3 base economy right here. Looking to go for that late game tech play as well. And overall, on 67 workers, how would that work? I mean, the problem with having a low amount of those workers right now and then also going for the tech is that now if you do get pressured, right? I mean, Stats doesn't even really have to push in here. He can just kind of posture across the map here, pretend to be moving out. And that's going to force a whole lot of roaches, and that's going to keep this worker count rather low. Run away, little probe! That's all he has to do right now. Like, he doesn't have to take a great fight here, just forcing out more roaches while being able to secure his own bases back at home should be good enough here. And you know what, does manage to get the cancel on that 4th base right there. Ties up the bases once more. Nice dodging on the Bile so far. Gets himself in a pretty good position here, but that is still a lot of roaches. I don't think he has enough here. One more warp in, maybe able to get enough of a buffer force here for those Immortals to really do the damage against those roaches. But, I mean, this is a scary army still for Su, although the army supply is starting to go into the favor for Stats. Okay, he does go backwards here, it looks like. Getting a reasonable trade, getting a lot of roach kills there, forcing more roaches out of Su, getting the cancel on that third, or the fourth base. And now Stats, I mean, this should be pretty good for him, right? It should be pretty good for him, as long as he doesn't die to Swarm Host Nidus. Ouch. That could of course still do quite a bit of cost-efficient trading there for Su. And I'm not gonna lie, that does worry me a little bit here. Whenever I do see the Swarm Host Nidus play, it always has the possibility of just doing an incredible amount of damage. Either that or force your opponent to start being aggressive, right? Really start continuously hammering down across the map and forcing that engagement. And as long as Su doesn't die to that, and he keeps the Swarm Host alive, you should be able to just keep trading out efficiently here. And slowly but surely gain the upper hand once more. That is his strategy right now. Will it work out though? We'll have to wait and see. Stats realizes at this moment in time what is happening here. Tries to target down the Nidus worm head. Another Nidus at the top side. The cannon gets targeted down first. I think he could have gotten that Nexus if he hadn't. Oh my god, he might still do it. Okay. Just barely catching that one. And yeah, these Nidus worms are just gonna get recreated continuously. Stats adding in a Void Ray here. That is pretty cool as well. Seeing the Void Ray tag being added now. Very interesting indeed. Might be able to get some good stuff going for him this way. The Void Rays, of course, you can kind of park them on top on these types of locations. Kill off the Nidus worm as it comes out. Also clean up some of the Swarm Hosts perhaps as they are coming out. And that should be good. Oh my. Going across here, I mean, nothing here yet. Looks like the Void Ray has cleaned up the Overlord there that was spotting to create the Nidus worm continuously here. And just this one single Void Ray is going to keep this area secured, it looks like. It's just the middle there. Oh, you don't see this every day. A Swarm Host. A Swarm Host scouting for where the Nidus worm will be able to get created. And already, I mean, Su finding himself in a pretty good position here, right? Being on this low drone count, not as worrisome anymore because he does have such a cost-effective army. As long as he doesn't lose stuff right now, he should be pretty good. Losing stuff could be, well, it's going to be a lot more worrisome than it would be normally because of the low drone counts. But it is also less likely that that will occur because of the army composition that he went for. Stats does manage to keep this fourth base in production right now. Has a good amount of units just kind of patrolling outside of his bases. Doesn't want to get Nidus again and caught off guard by the Swarm Host here. Okay, big attack actually from two roach groups on both sides here. Both of them did get scouted by Stats, but it looks like he's just going to go for it anyway. Moving across the map right now. Is that the right call? I'm not completely convinced. The Void Ray helping out a little bit here. That fourth base still going to get denied. There's a War Prism in the main base, though, at the same time. Stats coming in on the third base as well as the fourth base. Zealots are absolutely everywhere, killing everything. He's going to go for the offensive. He's like, all right, well, you just used most of your units offensively. Let me show you how to be offensive as well. And he's doing a wonderful job here so far, getting his Zealots right now on top of those Swarm Hosts as well. If he manages to clean those up before they get ready for more Locusts, that could be absolutely massive. Will it happen though? Oh boy, I think he's pretty darn close. How close exactly? It is incredibly close. Okay, well, the Immortals here treading incredibly effective against those Roaches. And now without any Roaches remaining, oh, great Storm there as well. Gonna get those Locusts very low, and GG is called. Stats managed to just move across the map right there, right when there were no Locusts whatsoever. Yes, he did lose his fourth base, but he killed off the absolute everything of Su. So that's always nice. Very well played there by Stats, being able to secure himself a victory there. A notch on his belt. Let's see if he will be able to get that sorted 2 more times in a row. And that was indeed a perfect timing to hit Sue. I'm going to quickly run a ad over here, guys, and we'll continue onwards with a game, the next game. The game number 4, right? Yeah, game number 4. Let's hear what Rushy has to say about Manscaped, shall we?
My name is Rushy, and thanks for watching our StarCraft 2 content brought to you by Alpha X. Productions like this are made possible by support from our sponsors, like Manscaped. Their state-of-the-art line of grooming products, which features skin-safe technology, practically eliminates nicks or scratches, and has new, easily replaceable blades to ensure you're always getting the perfect shaves. Manscaped has other equally innovative grooming products for men, like their anti-chafing deodorant, body wash, and signature cologne, so that you're always feeling clean and smelling great. Make sure to click on Manscaped's sponsor quests and use the code MATCHERINO at checkout to get 20% off your next purchase. Manscaped, refining the gentleman. Thank you for supporting Alpha X, and thank you for considering checking out our awesome sponsors. Now, let's head back to the action.
All right, nice. Actually, I need to make sure none of these loop, because I think that's kind of what's happening right now. Otherwise, I'm like, because I can't hear it, I don't know exactly when it ends. Sometimes you guys maybe just listening to it twice or something like that, you know? That would... Although, you know what? Extra ads for us. You know MP, thank you for the follow. Also, Monodrama, Brody Shelby, Friend Sesu, NBA, Belgian Bullets, Ichujun, Hillbilly Joe. I think I already called you out. But anyway, thank you so much for the follows. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves so far with all the StarCraft 2 gooey, lovely action right here. And I mean, you know what, we've had some pretty cool games so far. Especially liking that previous one there. Stats making a brilliant maneuver, just running across the map, getting himself into a good position, and forcing Sue to take a bad fight there with the Swarm host continuously. Just kind of waiting, oh dear lord, please let us have some Locust again. Please, but yeah, not really working out. This time around, Sue going for a very quick hatchery here. Doesn't want to get blocked again. Has learned his lesson. And it's actually the first time in this best of 5 that we don't see that hatchery successfully blocked. So, you know what? A proper adjustment there for Sue. Didn't want to have it happen over here. Alright, so, in the bottom left side, he is the red Zerg. He is a Freak of Freaks, Sue. Top right side, there he is, the blue Protoss, fighting for the Freak of Freaks as well. He is none other than Stats. Man, I really want the Freak of Freaks logo where these players are. I want it in the game. I think it's a really cool logo, honestly, in my opinion. And, yeah. I think it would look good right over here inside of StarCraft 2. But I think they're just not that, they're not that bothered, apparently. Denner Funds, thank you as well for the follow. Guys, remember, I don't know if you just got here, but we do have that Matcherino page. We do still have a large amount of codes remaining. This is the final day of 7-day tournaments. And, you know what, every single code that we do manage to scrape on in here would be greatly appreciated. You know what, it would help us out a lot. Just some quests as well, you know what, if you feel like it, that could help us out quite a bit as well. You can feel better about yourself for having helped out StarCraft 2, of course, overall. And we all know you're going to be a better person for it. Alright, anyway. Again, a Stargate opening here for Stats. He's bringing it back. It used to be all the rage. It used to be everything enemy Protoss used to do continuously for such a long time against Zergs. And Stats, he's, you know, he just decided, it looks like, that this is just a new way for him to go. Unless if he's trying to hide some other strategy still for whatever the hell he wants to hide him for. What's this GSL group look like, actually? He is still in the GSL, right? Am I going crazy? I'm not going senile, right? His group hasn't been played yet? Has it? Has it? Somebody help me out here. Anyone in the chat kind enough to let me know? Everyone looking up on Liquipedia right now. What did happen to Stats? Zest, Cure, and Rogue. Oh, I think he could do very well there. Oh my god. Imagine that, him being up against Cure right now as well. In a best of 7 finals. That could get a little bit awkward. Oh. Not played yet. Yeah, that does look like a pretty sick group. I'm really hoping Zest is gonna perform as well as some people assume that he is. Because, you know, his online play hasn't been all that stellar, but people are, well, the talk around the town is that he will bring his A game to the GSL. He's just waiting to reveal some builds for that, right? He's just hiding his builds right now in the online cups and playing his old stuff, and then waiting for that lovely GSL group of his. Hoping that's going to be the case. I want stats to be 2, so we can have a glimpse into what might happen at GSL. Yeah, I mean, that could happen. At the same time, they might just hide all their builds. They might just be like, alright, let me go with whatever I don't practice that much right now. Because I don't want to show it all in a best of 7 when I may need to fight against him in the GSL. You know, that one tournament that I really, really want to win quite badly. Yeah, this is not going to work. This is not enough links right here for this amount of adepts. No, a little bit of a lapse of judgment error there. Or a lapse of judgment, is that what it's called? Anyway, not a good judgment call there from Sue. Going in with those links there, kind of losing them for no reason whatsoever. At the same time, we've only lost 10 drones at home though here for Sue, so he's doing alright. 3 oracles here, once more for stats, and then making some maneuvers. I think Rogue at full potential will destroy everyone. Yeah, I mean, Rogue always has the potential to just kill people, right? Anyone, honestly. It's a bit unfortunate that we did hear that, you know, Rogue as well, kind of lacking the overall motivation to continuously get himself sorted with StarCraft 2 practice. Oh, look at that! Cold Case 187 coming in hot with a follow, and then immediately just being like, you know what? I have a Twitch Prime laying around. Let me help these fellas out. That's much appreciated, man. Oh, dear lord. Yeah, always helps us out quite a bit. Shinjukum, sorry. Also saying that, yeah, Rogue's not in top shape at the moment, and yeah, I feel like that may be a little bit the case here. He hasn't been for a while though. I am expecting him to suddenly kind of make a resurgence, but it feels like he's having a difficulty with it overall. I don't know if it is a lack of practice, a lack of motivation, or if it's just something else entirely. Maybe it's just not his patch, you know? That sort of stuff happens as well now and again. Well, anyway. He used to be one of the best well-rounded Zergs overall. In contention with Dark for the best Zerg in, well, pretty much the world. And Cyril, I suppose, as well. But, oh well. Oh well. But it's been shown that when he's really focused and prepared, he's pretty unstoppable. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Alright, anyway. Focusing on this game, we have Nutilisk on the way right now. A lot of roaches as well. Stats is on the other side of the map here, trying to force a little bit of pressure. I don't think he's going to commit anytime soon here. Yeah, it's going to move backwards. But you know what? That forced out more roaches. It forced out Ravagers. And that's going to lower the overall amount of Mutalisk right now on the map. There's only 7 of them. And that's an amount which becomes quite easy to deal with, right? Relatively speaking. Should be pretty doable to hold that off. He has the cannons, he has the shield batteries. Making a Phoenix as well. Losing to... okay, there we go. Now with just 3 Phoenix, right? More than enough to hold this off, keep this at bay. And pick off a lot of them before the rest of the Phoenix reinforcements comes in as well, actually. As we're seeing Quite a few more Mutalisk in the production tab. Oh, needs to move away with the Phoenix. Okay. Whew. Queen support's always a bit of a tough pickle to deal with. More hallucinated Phoenix. It's like, alright, let me just scare him a little bit here. A bit of a heart attack, perhaps. Ah, it's fine. It is fine. Alright, so up to 14 plus 3, that's going to be 17 Mutalisk. That's the same amount of Mutalisk that we saw in game number 2 in Death Aura, I believe. That absolutely tore stats apart. Now, this is a bit of a harder map to make something like that work, I feel like. The choke over here towards the natural base already blocked off, so you can't really go in through there, being Stu, at least not easily. The Mutalisk here already finding a bit of a squadron of Phoenix, of course, as support as well. We're seeing another Stargate being added in as well as a Fleet Beacon. That's the right call, as we're seeing more and more Phoenixes coming into play right now. Whenever I do this as a Zerg, usually I just have about like 5 or 6 Archons moving across the map. I panic, have all my Mutalisk bunch up, and then just one red thick mist appears instead of Mutalisk. I don't know exactly how it happens, but hey. It's rage-inducing sometimes. But I don't think Sue, of course, way too good to let anything like that happen here. Does have a good amount of ground forces as well. Mutalisk back in the natural base. That's the 2 Archons right here as the extra defense. A buffer defense will buy enough time for those Phoenixes to come in as well. But then again, you know what? Those Archons, they would have been quite useful here to hold off against these Zerglings and the Roaches. Phoenix trying to keep things secured here. They almost have their range upgrade, so they're going to do a lot better against those Mutalisk. And so far, I mean, can we say that the Mutalisk have done enough in this situation? I'm not completely convinced that they have. 9 worker kills. That is 9 worker kills in total. They're doing okay against the ground forces. Picking off that Immortal is quite valuable indeed as well. Okay, Phoenix range is about to finish up here in 2-1. And there we go. Okay, now should be able to hunt down these Mutalisk a little bit easier. Ooh, a nice turnaround from Stu though. Catching the catchers. Catchers have become the cat cheese. Did I just say cat cheese? I think so. Anyway. You know what, looking back at all the statistics right now, the income for Su looking pretty darn spicy off of the 5 bases. Stats has been contained on the 3 base here for quite a while. He's been having a tough time against the Mutalisk as well overall, I suppose. Keeping a lot of stuff at home or at that natural base to ensure that he doesn't take unnecessary damage there. The Phoenix is not taking the best rates either just quite yet. Only now getting himself the, well, almost now being completed on that +1 armor, or I mean weapons upgrade. And the Mutalisk once again will come in here. May need to have a shield battery overcharged. Oh my dear lord. Oh god, the High Templar in a bit of trouble here. In quite a bit of trouble. And I mean, even with almost half of those forces in status traps right now, Stats is up against the wall. He's in a tough spot once more. The Hydra Zergling Baneling style with the Mutalisk in combination with that. Actually, the first time we saw this, it was mostly with the Roaches, right? And Ravagers continuously. Was it also Hydra Zergling Baneling? Because it seems to be working pretty darn well here. I think Stats, I mean, he needs a absolute brilliant play right now to have this go into his favor. He's got a bunch of High Templar right now. The Storms need to be immaculate if he wants this to work right now. The Baneling's already on top of the Zealots though, and those are no beauty Storms. They will not win a prize there. And GG is called. Making a mothership right there on the end. I mean, that would have been interesting, right? If that mothership was around, maybe the Phoenixes being able to like shut down the Overseer, target that one down, and then somehow win the game through that. That may have been one ticket back into this, but that was rather tough. And indeed, that means we're going into a best of 7 in a TVZ. It's going to be Cure versus Sue. Pretty darn awesome. We won't have a pre-taste of the GSL group. That will be happening, unfortunately. But you know what? In a way, it's pretty good, right? We're still going to have those guys clash later on. And that's going to be pretty good too. Not a single Storm. He didn't have Storm yet available, Great Lembeck. It wasn't done researching yet. It was pretty close, but it wasn't there. And so, I mean, that is why you couldn't get a Storm out. Unfortunately. Sui is in good form though. Can't blame stats, especially in PvZ matchup. Yeah, I mean, the PvZ matchup, it definitely needs some innovating here. I feel like from the Protoss side, unfortunately. The Zergs definitely kind of have figured out most of the tricks in the tricking book of Protoss right now. And especially with somebody like Su that's just continuously on top of things. He knows all the answers. He knows what to scout for, when to scout for it. It's just a really tough situation. It is an incredibly tough situation. Then again, yeah, I mean, I would love to see some more Protoss making the switch to the playstyle of Estrella. Again, you know what, hyping up one of our own players here a little bit, but Estrella, just go watch his PvZs overall. It is absolutely insanity. It is so much fun to watch, and he likes to take it to the late game, and I feel like that may be his best matchup, in a sense. Maybe that's just me wanting it to be his best matchup. Anyway, why doesn't Protoss make Disruptor versus Zerg? I think it may be because of Vipers overall. Vipers just, you know what, just a quick pull, a yoink, and the Disruptor's gone. That's always rough. Alright. Let's see. That's going good. That's going good. Alright, guys, let me do a quick, little bit of a... shall we do a shout-out? What should we do? Let's do a Matcherino shout-out, alright? So we're talking about Matcherino and how to make quests and such. If you don't know how to make quests, you can always just complete the quests, of course, as well on the Matcherino page. ! Matcherino. And just, you know what, if we all pitch in with doing a couple of quests, that's going to be quite a bit of extra money added into the prize pool. It's our last day, and that's it. How to counter Yoink? It's probably High Templar. High Templar doing the feedback on the Viper before the Viper gets to Yoink, which is rather difficult to do as well. It is rather difficult. It's doable as long as you have like vision on the army of the Zerg, right? You can see them coming in. That's the key. You need to have something like oracles with a quick tag on the army, revelation, and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, say hi to Rashi for me. I'll see you in a little bit.
My name is Rashi, and this is a 1-minute tutorial on how to create your own Matcherino quests for your online events. Let's get started. Go to Matcherino.com and click.
Oh, wow, that's awkward.
My name is Rashi, and this is a 1-minute tutorial on how to create your own Matcherino quests for your online events. Let's get started. Go to Matcherino.com and click the sign-in button in the top right. You'll need to link an account to begin. I use my Twitch account because it's the most convenient for me, but you can choose which one works best for you. Once you log in, click your username in the top right and select Profile. Along the left side will be a place to select Sponsor Quests, and you've arrived. Click the Add button and give this quest a clear title and a sleek image. Your quest can be attached to all games, but one option to better reach your audience is to limit your quest to games that fit your specific community. You can also target specific audiences by whitelisting specific countries, or by blacklisting specific countries so they can't see your quests. You can also set specific actions that your quests require, such as website clicks or Twitter follow. Doing all of this will get you great looking buttons that your fans can interact with on your Matcherino pages. Use the Analytics tab to see how your quests are doing and what works best for your community. Every click counts. I hope this video helped you start your Matcherino quest. Thanks for supporting Matcherino. Now, let's get back to the action.
All right. Thank you, Rashi. Much appreciated. Awesome stuff, and that's right, we are going back into the action. Just right about now, we can hear that lovely little background sound. The bells are ringing, I believe. The StarCraft, they are pretty much the bells of StarCraft 2, right? I think this sound overall is more famous than the bells of the Big Ben or something like that. Overall, right? The most famous sound in the world, the StarCraft 2 countdown sound. And it is indeed the best. Alright, guys, here we go. The final series It's the finals. Both these players going through one hell of a tough lineup. Let me just... Alright, so we'll start off with this man right here. Who did he already go up against? This blue Zerg. He is, of course... well, he is Sue, first and foremost. But who did he manage to beat so far? Let me quickly take a quick glance here. So, his first match, he went up against Kiwian. Which, oh dear lord, go away, Mr. Motorcycle. I'm sorry, they just love to go through my room sometimes. My room is, of course, situated in the middle of a highway, so kind of the reason why. Anyway, so Sue managed to beat Kiwian. He managed to beat him 2-0. He managed to beat Solar as well, 2-0. Got first place in his group, easy like that. No problem, no sweat for him. 4-0 score. Then he went on to Group A, where he did manage to, well, beat Patience 2-0 as well. Now, the problem here is that he did fight against Cure in that situation as well. It was a 2-1. He did lose the best of 3. But you know what, it was still good enough for him to move on through, as later on he managed to beat Ragnarok as well. And got that little bit of a score here. Now, it was still close though. Cure versus Sue that previous time around. Anyway, interesting. All right. Well, I guess we're not doing that for Cure. We'll do that the next round because there's stuff happening here. Anyway, it's Sue from Africa Freaks. Bottom left, red Terran player, Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. Awesome. Awesome. All right. It's Cure's feeling it, man. He's a little naughty boy. He's sending in a lot of Reapers here. 3 Reapers at the same time. Completely unscouted so far by Sue. Sees a bunker suddenly being created in his main base. That's not supposed to be there. And this could be a whole lot of trouble. A whole lot of trouble. I feel like he needs a spine crawler here, honestly. Second Reaper now coming in as well. He doesn't have the forces to really deal with this. Already losing 2 of those links as well. The first initial links, they are the most important ones. Again, making spore crawlers here instead of spine crawlers. I don't think the severity of the situation has quite managed to seep into the mind of Sue just quite yet. Still just trying to hold his own here with pure links and queens. More links being created, but he's losing a lot of them continuously. A little bit too close there on top of the bunker. Oh my dear lord, I think we're just gonna see a GG coming up pretty darn soon with these Reapers. As long as they don't get mismicroed, and it's bloody Cure, so not likely that that's going to happen here. The Queen very low on the HP, all the Zerglings pretty much dead right now. There is the Spine Crawler, now finally in production. Is it too little? Is it too late? I think it very well may be, as the drones right now, the first thing on the menu. And that is, well... that's the situation you're not going to be able to safeguard yourself from anymore, I'd say. Speed is about to finish up, but there's just not any more links remaining. There's 5 links in total right now. The drones, if only they managed to grease themselves some wings as well, so they would gain that speed bonus too. That's not the case though, unfortunately. And, my dear lord. Alright, well, the Spine Crawler moves themselves into position. One Queen does go down here. The other Queen didn't have enough energy, I think, for a transfusion just yet. Or maybe just a second too late with getting that transfusion going. Cure, oh my dear lord. Alright, well, yeah, gets that one as well. I feel like Suni should have enough Reapers to just kill off that Spine Crawler too. I mean, definitely should have enough to clean up the Queen here. Stops any sort of mining. And Sue, what are you gonna do, man? What's the plan here? I mean, look at this. Is he gonna try to do just a full surround here with the drones on these Reapers right now? Trying to move the Spine Crawlers. Queen goes down. The Spine Crawler half HP before he gets anything done. The Reapers just move further backwards. Deny the mining again here. And the Spine out of position once more. And this, I mean, that's just no recovery. There is no recovery. No matter how much I would like it to be. Really is no chance in hell. And GG is called. Sue loses the first game here. Due to a triple Rex proxy Reaper rush from Cure. A spicy way to start off a best of 7. And honestly, that's pretty cool to see. That's pretty cool to see. Now, Sue is going to have to stay on his toes, right? Continuously throughout this entire series. He's going to keep in his mind, man, He might just proxy 3 Rex Reaper me. I might need to just throw down a Spinecrawler immediately as soon as I see Reapers coming in, because that's going to be rough. L30 TM, that's right. Look at this. I even have one of these, I don't know what they're called, crochet. It's a little, it's like for when I'm having my sandwich later on. I'm going to be able to pull this out. Pout my mouth. Nice stuff, eh? Nice stuff indeed. Alright. It's gonna happen after this best of 7, of course. We'll do a mukbang. It's called a mukbang, right? Well, the handkerchief OP. That's right. That's right. All right. Anyway. Well, I mean, he done did it. He done did it, boys. Can he do it a couple of more times in a row? I mean, he's not sending any SCVs out this time, so I guess that's already quite a nice thing for us as well, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a good cheese now and again. It spices up the entire experience of StarCraft 2. You can't have one without the other. That's my opinion on it. If you just have macro games, the game wouldn't be as good. If you just have cheese games, the game wouldn't be as good. But a nice mix in between. And then it looks like that's what we're seeing here from Cure, going for, well, I should have done that differently. Hold up, it's the blue Terran player who's going for this little bit less aggressive build. He is Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. There we go. That's how I should have said his name. Anyway, bottom right side. There he is, the red Zerg fighting for Afrika Freaks. He is Sue. Did lose against Cure the previous time, 2-1 in his tournament. It was very close. It got kind of tight, and I mean, in a best of 7, so much more stuff can happen, of course, already. Let me actually, I said I would, so let me go into the overall history. What Cure had to do to get himself into this position right here. He went in the first group up against Hurricane, a 2-1 series against that Protoss player. The second series he played against Armani, and that was a 2-1 as well. So managing to secure the first position just as his opponent here out of that group. And then afterwards going into Group A, where he played against Ragnarok, another Zerg player right there. I remember that one was pretty close as well, especially it looks like Cure more so relying upon early aggression to take the victories there. Early harassment, mostly, I suppose. And there was one big mech game where Cure got trampled by Ragnarok. That was quite a nice series as well. Anyway, he still managed to win that series 2-1, then going up against Sue in that other series, as we already mentioned, 2-1 as well, and being first to move on from that group as well. And that is the history of Cure for his tournament here. We'll have to wait and see. How to beat Koreans play Zerg. I don't think it works that way, because Cure has managed to beat about 4 Zergs to get here. That's what I just said. He beat 4, well, right, maybe 3 Zergs. He went through 3 Zergs out of 4 opponents. And he makes it look easy. Easy. No problem. Will he be able to do it again, though? I mean, Sue has been looking really, really juicy recently, so it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a rough opponent here. I think, you know what, we may be able to call Sue one of the best Zergs right now, as Rogue falling a little bit to the wayside. Sue may be the new badass in town here for the Zerg Korean rosters, I'd say. Though he's always has been, of course. Like, I mean, getting second place that many times, that is thoroughly impressive. Incredibly impressive, but of course, a little bit of a falling to the wayside after he managed to get that victory, right? Sometimes it feels like, alright, well, I managed to achieve my goal. I'm going to be able to take it a little bit easier, and I feel like that's what we saw from Sue. But I think Sue has been ramping up the overall practice again, getting himself really properly going. Right, jokey now, I just think Cure ZVT is very strong, and he almost won GSL last season. Don't underestimate him. Cyril and Raynor are one of the best players at the moment, but this guy has a chance. So Cyril and Raynor, wait, has a change or chance? Wait, okay, hold up. So Cyril and Raynor really need to watch out for him today. All right, I see. They do, don't they? It's a shame they aren't in this tournament. It's a shame. It's a shame. But then again, I mean, we have Bloody Sue. We have Bloody Sue, and that's pretty darn epic already as well. What's happening in game 1, guys? Some sort of an all-in? Yeah, it was disgusting. It was despicable. There's no honor left within this man, but then again, he does have a victory now, so who the hell cares for honor? Who needs honor when you are dead? Right? That's what he said in Game of Thrones. Sue was the guy that was in his nice shiny armor, and Cure was the guy that was just dancing around and just kind of punched him into the pit of despair. I've got his name. Try to whitewash my memory of the entire show after the final seasons. Bad memories. All right. Anyway, but that was still a pretty cool. That was a cool scene, right? He fought with honor. He did fight with honor. Silly man fighting with honor. Anyway, Mutalisk once again going up on the production tab right here. Sue really digging his Mutalisk style, and I mean, I can't blame him. Mutalisk pretty darn cool. I'm gonna help out against Cure as well. Cure known to be very aggressive with the drops. Very good with just multi-pronged harassment, right? The multitasking of Cure out of this world, usually. Let's see if that's going to be the case again. The Mutalisk, I don't think he spotted them just quite yet, has he? Yeah, no, I don't think he has a good idea. Maybe because of the low amount of workers that he saw at the third base, he might have the inclination that something else is happening here. Throws down another third base here. He does have a single missile turret in both of his mineral lines as well. And let's wait and see. Laggy? Is it laggy? I don't think so. Not seeing any frames dropped on my end. Alright, anyway. In comes this attack right now. Combat shields and +1 weapons just finishing up here. Beautifully timed. Sue, of course, doesn't want to lose this base, so sends in the wave of Zerglings and Banelings. Actually, hunting this entire pack down immediately, but at the same time, the main base, there we go. There it is, the famous continuous aggression here from Cure. The 1-2 punch. Just when you think you're safe, in comes another medevac from an entirely different angle, which you never really anticipated. Right, needs to start dropping the Marines here on the side away from the Zerglings, but doesn't seem to matter. Not being able to even pick up a single Mutalisk right there. Let's see, overall, the units lost here. Still a little bit in favor for Cure, but Cure has that slower third base, of course. It's gonna go for the gold base, though. Making it easier for him to push across. And making it harder for Sue, I suppose, to spread his creep as far as he would like to. Also, of course, gold minerals just overall get you more money. Now, one thing might be that these Mutalisk could start gaining the upper hand, though, overall. With this triangular base position, right? It becomes harder for the Terran player to defend everything here perfectly. Especially with just the Marines, because you have these 3 entranceways very close to one another where Marines are going to have to move back in between. It looks like, you know what, Cure doing a good job there with denying any type of potential for the Mutalisk harassments. Moving in here once more with those Marines, forcing everything for Sue to clump up again and stay back at home. He just doesn't want to take the unnecessary risk here, it looks like. Just wants to try and finish off this attack before it really does anything else. Cure is still moving further to the top side, though. I'm a bit surprised with this move. I mean, it felt like Sue may have been able to just kind of move himself in between the retreat path and the reinforcement stuff. And this army that is just on the northern side of the map, but not going to be the case. Sue's gonna let him go for now. We'll pick off 2. No, just 1 medevac. Almost getting 2, though. I got quite close. I got quite close indeed. This attack actually looking rather scary now with 5 siege tanks in total. The Mutalisk need to shut those down a little bit here to really allow the Zerglings and the Banelings to do maximum amount of damage. There's no creep whatsoever actually spread this way. And that's gonna hurt Sue here a little bit. I mean, a couple of times in the series so far, we've seen Sue very being just single directions with his creep spread, and now it's really biting him in the in the rear end. Okay, more banelings are on the way. Thank the heavens for that. But I mean, this are his final banelings. The Marines not spread out quite yet. The banelings are getting so close. Okay, he does get rid of all of the siege tanks right now, but he still needs some sort of solution against these Marines. Kjør not quite certain if there are still more banelings. He sees the baneling X right now being evolved and decides not to go for it right here. Instead, you know what? Oh my dear lord. Again, a drop here on the bottom side. Getting the spawning pool this time around. Great splitting as well against the banelings here. The banelings not being enough. And Kjør looks like once again he will be able to get himself in an absolute wonderful position here. GG is called. And what in the hell is wrong with Kjør these days? Why is he so good? Why is he so good? We just saw Sue doing incredible against stats, and now Kjør just comes in and he's like, you know what, I can just kind of push across the map here, get myself some drops going on the other side, and easy peasy, just like that, no problem. Get myself sorted out. Kjør's the new Bjørn. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Bjørn's coming back though, I hear, and Bjørn's coming back with a vengeance, I do believe. I think as soon as Bjørn is coming back, that's when the true Terran patch is going to be happening. Oh man, we're all gonna quiver in our boots seeing Bjørn play again. We'll have to wait and see. Sue really needs to pick up some games here. Back in 1.5 months, that's coming up. Imagine, like, we've been waiting for Maru Serral finals for so long, right? And it's just a big series. It's just not happening continuously. What if the moment that Bjørn comes back immediately, the first tournament they enter, we'll have a big Bjørn versus Serral finals. How cool would that be? He's like, alright, let me show you how it's done, Maru. No problem. I'm gonna give these guys what they deserve. The biggest, the baddest TVC. Right then and there. But you know what? I mean, Sue and Kjør pretty darn close as well right here. Of course, continuing on their series. Let me quickly actually do this, and then what was the button again? I think there we go. All right, bringing you into the game. Here we are. Here we are. 2 games on the board right now. Just one single game removed from map point, right? So he's halfway there. He is halfway there to complete a victory and being the champion of the AX 500 DJ tournament right here. We'll have to wait and see if he will be able to get the final inches to victory here. Or the final miles, I should say, actually, against the player that he's up against. It's never going to be inches. Anyway, he is Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Yeah. He is looking absolutely ridiculous right now. His opponent, though, he's in a really good overall state as well at this moment in time. He's just not really been able to bring his well, get into the groove against Kjør in those other previous 2 maps right now. Let's see if he will be able to turn it all around, get himself a couple of victories on the board as well, equalize out the series again, and kind of get in a more stable mindset that way. Let's give it up for the Afrika Freaks Red Zerg here. Sue. Right, that was not the best. Zoom in, zoom out. There we go, that was a bit better. Alright. Alright, nothing being proxied once again. There is a command center on the low grounds, but won't be punished by Sue, it looks like. Went for the hatchery first. Gonna get verified here by Kjør as well. It's like, oh, hello, okay, I can go again. Thank you for showing the hatchery. I'll start being over here right now, blocking that 3rd base. In case you would like to have a 3rd base at any point in time. Is he already trying to send that drone down? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Sending in the drone down here, trying to hide it. So he, well, wait, he already sees the SCV though with the overlords here. I don't know why. Did he not expect that Reaper to come across?
Unacceptable.
Good control there from Cure as well. Being able to block the extractor. The extractor trick to safeguard the drone there potentially. 4 Zerglings will be moving across the map. There is only a single Marine over here, but that command center will finish up as well. And the Reaper as well coming across here. Korean Zergs can't beat Serral. I don't think that, well, I mean, I think, no. Maybe. Maybe. I'm pretty sure there's some Korean Zergs, right? And there's Rainer now as well to take into account. I honestly do think that we have a pretty reasonable chance that later on we're all gonna just be talking about Rainer instead of about Serral, because Rainer, oh my dear lord, if he keeps it up like this, man, that kid is good. That is one hell of a player. I'm thoroughly impressed every time I see him. Alright, Cloak Banshees are going to be of order this day. Sue's going to be like, I didn't order Cloak Banshees, and Cure's going to be like, well, it's what you're getting. It's what you're getting anyway. You're welcome. Nice day at Cure Industries. Your dietary options. To lose that extra drone weight. Right, Hellions, Reaper. Now attempting to most likely just deny some creep, right? Not enough units here to get anything else done. Wisely keeps a couple of Hellions at home as well, in case of any type of Zergling run by. Play it safe, guys. Always play it safe. That will get you the most victories here. Oh, the Banshee actually incomplete view of that watchtower. That's quite a blunder, honestly. Giving it away for Sue here, and it's going to start up the Spore Crawlers right now. This Overlord as well, of course, scouting it, so seeing the trajectory. Really certain now as to where that Banshee is going. And will be able to get himself into a good position to defend against this, I would assume. You know what, I think Joe realized that he did get spotted there by the Overlord, and now he's just kind of like, alright, well, let me just wait for the second Banshee. Maybe we'll be able to get more stuff sorted that way. Will be bio. It's always good to see. That's the most fun overall. There's the cloak on the Banshees. Don't want to get spotted on that mini-map. Let's see what he can get done over here. The Spore Crawler's in a really good position though, overall. Alright, already 3 workers do go down though. Looks like he may be able to pick off a couple more. 4 queens though. 6 drones. I think the 6 drones is pretty good, right? As long as you keep these Banshees alive. How greedy is he going to be, though? Is he going to try to get more in this position over here? Oh, look at that. Yeah, okay, well. He's going to attempt more there. Doesn't get much. Enough queens came to the rescue. Oh. 3rd base for Cure now being established. 4th base for Sue also on the way. Both these players still in a reasonable macro position, right? No, nothing crazy happened so far. Both of these players just kind of hitting the groove, getting everything sorted, getting the stuff that they need. The Spire is on the way right now. We have the Baneling Speed on the way as well. Cure is prepping up for a timing attack here with the siege tanks, I suppose. Let's see. The upgrades +1/+1. There they are. Okay, almost about to finish up, and that's when he wants to hit, of course. Already, we have the +1/+1 also available for Sue, and this could be problematic actually. Quite a good amount of Zerglings here going for that 3rd base as Cure is moving out. Now, is he gonna turn around here, or is he just gonna have to try and deal with this through the reinforcements? There is a good siege tank in position right here, but that's not gonna be able to help out the natural base, and that's a lot of SCV kills right here. Oh my. I say, well, I thought there was going to be a lot more, actually. Only 10 of them going down. But also, of course, a bit of lost mining here. Now, this 4th base still in trouble, as we don't have the support of those extra Zerglings. He needs to get himself the Baneling speed. The Baneling speed just not ready quite yet, though. That's the thing with getting yourself the quicker +1/+1. You know what? Your Zerglings are going to do better, but the Banelings, of course, without the speed, really darn painful to try and engage then, even when you are on the creep. Zerglings going for the surround there on the reinforcements. But did he send too much here? So now he just barely doesn't have enough to clean this up. Okay, well, okay. No, he's okay there, and he... Okay. Interesting. So, let's think this through, right? We do have a lot of Mutalisk on the way. Su still has a good amount of workers, but he is oversaturated on, I think, most of his bases right now, or fully saturated, yeah. So, I mean, even though he does have the worker advantage, I mean, it's not even that big anymore, right? Especially because of mules. Let's take a look, actually, yeah. There's nothing as an economic advantage for either of these players at this moment in time. Losing that 4th base, you know what, again, I feel bad about saying it, but I'm gonna have to give a little bit of an advantage to Cure once again, finding a good position here in the TVZ matchup. Playing just an absolutely marvelous couple of games so far. Not taking any unnecessary damage. These Mutalisk also quite handily being thwarted away, right? Not allowed to do pretty much anything here. 3 SCV kills. 3 SCV kills for 13... Well, actually 14 Mutalisk. That's not worth it. That is not worth it. You will still be able to, of course, hold back those medevacts and get... well, stop them from being absolutely everywhere and dropping everywhere, but... I mean, big pushes like these are now incredibly difficult to deal with because you just spend that much money on those Mutalisk. It becomes quite a difficult situation to push into. He needs to keep this base alive. He cannot afford to lose this. Okay, Banelings, you know what? Again here, not really that much creep spread. And the Banelings not getting the connections that they want either. We don't have any Banelings anymore. The production of new ones only now starting up. He's desperately trying to hold on here to this base. The Mutalisk now taking the fight here. This is not a cost-efficient fight at all whatsoever. Yes, he lowers the Marine numbers, but I mean, overall... He's losing so much right now, and now he doesn't only lose... He hasn't only lost the base here, but he's lost a lot of his army. And the next upcoming attack for Cure is going to be that much more deadly. He's about to have +2/+2. Up against the +2/+2 for Su here. And that's going to be rough. That is going to be rough now for Su overall. Look at this. Cure is just going to start to wrap around again. Stays as far removed from that creep as possible. And again, we don't have that much creep spread this way either. Definitely something that seems to be one of the weak points here for Su. And Cure just continuously finding those opportunities, those pathways that he can take to set himself up in a wonderful position to punish Su for not having the creep spread out into all the directions. Right, making sure that he doesn't get flanked from that side over here is, of course, very important as well. Su's still on a pretty reasonable supply, right? As long as if he keeps this base going for a little bit here, and gets that 5th base secured as well, gets himself into the hive tech, he may still be able to get something sorted. But that's a lot of what-ifs. That is a ton of what-if scenarios. The Mutalisk, I'm loving these Mutalisk here, intercepting reinforcements, but the reinforcements now include a Thor as well. Cure sacrificing these siege tanks right now. Interesting. That was a very weird engagement, honestly. Moving back with so many of his Marines and his Thors, that may have very well been a little bit of a misclick here. And we're going in, the Banelings and the Zerglings right on top of those Marines right now. And oh my dear lord, the floodgates have opened And just like that, Cure a little bit out of position there with those siege tanks and his marines, the Thors not supporting them whatsoever. And suddenly a lot of Zerg right on top of his production, right on top of his third base, taking a lot of damage right there. And that is, you know what? Suddenly Su finding himself in a very good position here. My dear lord, I was not expecting that still to turn around that quickly. That is definitely what happens here. Now, Su, of course, not just out of the woodworks quite yet. There is that +3/+3 coming in still as well. And that could provide quite a bit of trouble for the red Zerg as well. Of course, again, not that much creep spread this way. These bases still seem very vulnerable. And that +3/+3 is going to hit so incredibly hard, especially against Mutalisk and Zerglings. It's just very difficult to deal with the +3/+3 bio units when you are still in the +2/+2. We'll have to wait and see though. Of course, Baneling hits can, of course, always perform miracles, but I mean, miracles against a guy like Cure, they don't happen very often. We'll have to wait and see. Widowmine here in the ground. Needs to be set off. Okay, there we go. Small group of those links, and the Banelings will be able to set that off. What's the only AoE damage actually available here for Cure, so it really comes down to all of his spreading out of the units right now. So trying to whittle down this army here, delay it as much as possible. Mutalisk here actually as well coming in into the reinforcements. Will be able to pick off a 4 here. And now as well, a good amount of those Marines. Again, we're seeing Cure moving backwards with most of his forces. And Su just using those Mutalisks to full effect. Keeping everything secured. Now, Widowmines though will make this a lot more difficult to do. They're going to be securing the front line here and the back line as well, of course. Those Banelings not really getting the connections. Great hits though on top of them with the Widowmines. And suddenly again here we're seeing Cure providing a lot of pressure on top of Su. He's gonna lose the base. And those upgrades, I mean, does it all come back to that? Maybe not entirely. I think the Widowmines here also doing a whole load of work, but overall this is not that great anymore for Su. Oh my god, all those Banelings hitting the Thor right now. He does clean this up once more, but I mean the army supply is tied up, the work account is tied up, and Su, let's take a look at what his overall tech is. Okay, he does have the hive tech. That is a big deal, but he doesn't have anything in the way, shape, or form of the hive tech available just yet, right? He doesn't even have infestors. He doesn't have vipers. I'm not even sure if I would like to see vipers here. Maybe against the Thors, perhaps something like that. Blinding Cloud still pretty darn good, of course. But yeah, no Ultralisk, no Broodlords, and nothing really of the sorts on the way either. He's just gonna stick to the Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk style. Which, you know what, it's a little bit reminiscent of Su overall, right? His style is the mid-game style, and instead of roaches mainly, this time around we're seeing a lot of the Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk. Alright, in he comes again. Oh my god, look at those supplies, guys. This is not a good sign here for Su. He's buying more time with these Mutalisk. This is exactly what he needs to do, but I mean, I don't think he has the opportunity to buy enough time here. Okay, once again, the Widowmines coming in for the main support here. Denying easy movement from those Zerglings and the Banelings. Oh my god, so many Marauders being the meat shield for those Marines, and the Banelings connecting onto them, not being able to clean it up. I think we're approaching the end of this game right here. Su got himself in a wonderful position. Got himself almost on top of the production facilities of Cure, but Cure stabilizes. Managed to get another great push going, getting himself into a great position, and once again, I think this very well may be it here. The final moments in time where Su is gonna lose his Mutalisk, and GG. Nasty. Nasty stuff. Yeah, the FPS, like, I don't know what is happening, guys. It is seems to be getting worse. I don't know if it's like necessarily the PC problem. The stream is still going good. Stuff like that. I'm worried as to what I might need to do to get that sorted, honestly. That might get quite expensive. This Link Baneling Muta composition ain't working out too well for Sue. He may need to switch it up. 3080 Ti. What's that? Is that a new graphics card? Oh, almost dropped my water. We're okay, we're okay. Who won? Cure or Sue? Cure won that one. So he's on match point right now, 3-0. I'm turning into a Teletubby again. Look at that. Soon there will be some kids playing here. And oh wait, that sounds weird, doesn't it? So what happens with the Teletubbies though? You're gonna see like a school thing right now coming up. Anyway. That's rough. I think it does kind of come down to Sue just not really getting himself the later game tech, right? Sticking too long on the Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk. Wait, Cure? Cure is rooting for Sue. What is happening here? It's not the real Cure, is it? It's not this Cure. Okay. You got me there. You got me there. Good. Right, anyway, guys. Hopping into game number 5. Let me set up the score, and then I'll take you guys to this ordeal. Oh no, wait, it's game number 4. Sorry, it's game number 4. Of course, it is the best of 7. It's not a best of 9. In the top right side, on match point right now, absolutely tearing his opponents apart right up until this moment in time. Will he be able to do it one more time? One more game is all that's required. Let's give it up for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. He looks absolutely unstoppable. I mean, he's been picking up momentum for such a long time now, and it just doesn't seem to stop. He just keeps growing more and more momentum, sometimes a couple of speed bumps, but it doesn't seem to stop him. He just keeps ramping up his overall, overall skill. He just keeps getting better. That's the scary part. Anyway, his opponent right now, he's no slouch. He is a pretty darn impressive Zerg player right here in the bottom left side, and I would be incredibly surprised if this is going to be a 4-0, but I mean, if he doesn't come up with something, it very well may just be that, a 4-0 right here for this man, the famous second placer. Will he get himself another second place in this tournament? We'll have to wait and see. He is none other than a freak of freaks, Sue. Needs to get everything sorted. Guys, remember, we do have the Metrorino page as well. If you haven't done it already, it would be greatly appreciated. It would help out a tremendous amount. Not just for this tournament right here, but of course, overall for the StarCraft 2 scene. People helping out with those Metrorino codes, helping out with those quests in particular as well, of course. It may not seem like a lot of money, but I mean, if everybody just continuously does it, it adds up to a whole boatload, and it makes a difference for these players. It makes a difference for the StarCraft 2 community overall, because, you know what, the sponsors, they're gonna be like, huh, there's quite a bit of return on my overall investment here. I should invest either more, or, you know what, if they're like, you know what, I'm not getting that much interaction here with my quests, I'm not sure if StarCraft 2 is really my cup of tea. For overall advertising, right? I like the game, but ultimately those viewers, they are kind of lazy. They don't get my quests done that much. I'm gonna do some other games, and that's what we want to avoid, of course. Anyway, so let's get those codes going. Let's get those quests sorted out, and That would be of great help, of course. Alright, Cure again here. Just being a nuisance with his initial Reaper, keeping tabs on his opponents, checking to see what is happening. The Hellion follow-up, common way to deal with Zergs, of course. The Hellions, probably the most common units, I'd say, other than the Reaper in the ZVT matchup. And Banshees, okay. Very straightforward play. It's gonna pretty much be safe against any type of all-in through this mechanism, right? Has a good amount of harassment potential as well. A very solid opening overall. I think this is also one of the reasons why we're seeing more of the 2-base Muta play coming in a couple of times, right? Because not only it safeguards against the battle cruisers, in case there will be battle cruisers coming. You're going to be okay because you have that Spire a lot earlier. Okay, hold up. Hold that thought right there, guys. There is a good amount of Hellions actually into this natural mineral line here. A lot of drones. Oh my god, 7 so far. Might get one more shot here. 8. Okay, I don't think he's going to get any more, right? Shouldn't get any more. I'll be surprised if he does. Okay, well, he gets one more. Gets one more, of course. 9 workers, just like that. Cure for... Jeez Louise. I mean... This is incapable of providing the audience with a close series here. He's just too goddamn good. Oh, my dear lord. Alright, well, it's not over yet, guys. It is not over quite yet. These Banshees, they are being prepped for by... Oh, dear lord. It's not over yet, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Sure, go away, please. Stop it. Stop it now. Oh, God. Oh, dear lord. Alright, well. Another Banshee. Another Banshee just to help out this area right here. Why not? Why not? Lay attack on the way. I'm assuming we're just going to get more of the Mutalisk Baneling style here. It is starting to look like that once more. And the Mutalisk, they would help out, of course, against the Hellions. They do help out against the Banshees too. That's kind of what I wanted to refer against, right? Because it just kind of works out against a lot of the Terran openings overall. Doesn't work out against everything, of course. More marine heavy style just can absolutely stampede over any type of quick Mutalisk opening. More workers biting the bullets right now from the flying ghosts of the blue Korean Terran. How in the world is he getting this much damage? Alright, 8 workers again here. 21 workers in total. Su trying his best to keep his drone count up, but he is just replenishing more and more drones, and ultimately this push will start to hit pretty soon, and Su's gonna have to make an army before that is actually gonna hit him up, of course. Will most likely not have the bailing speed, or just barely will get it. But I think the army of Cure will be in position before he will actually have that. Now, does start up his Zergling production again here. But, 40 army supply here versus 20 Zerglings in the main base. Looking for a couple of juicy SCVs here. Overlords for the picking, shooting clay pigeons, but then it's Overlords. I love the Overlord drop here as well from Su, really making something work right, trying his best to get some stuff sorted out here. It's another Ling attack into the 3rd base, might be able to pick off some more SCVs. The attack for Cure does continue onwards though. Zerglings from the drop have been picked off. Will not be able to get any more sorted. Queens very quickly go down there. It's still a good amount of energy as well. Cure ramping up the aggression once more. Zerglings coming in from the surrounds here. A lovely split off from the Zerglings though. Just sending exactly what he needs. Let the rest of them try to deal with the Marines. A very, very well taken fight there from Su. Does clean this up without taking too much economic damage. after the Hounds and the Banshees, of course. He did take quite a beating there, but from this push over here, I was a little bit worried. I thought that may have been able to just finish it off, but Su was able to hold on and stabilize pretty reasonably well. Now, he needs to do that about 1 or 2 more times here, I'd say, to really solidify himself a good position here. He is going to go for the Hydralisk. That is a different strategy. No Mutalisk this time around. They definitely do a bit more damage, but they are also slower, and it's going to be harder to deal with the, well, overall harassment that we're seeing from Cure here continuously. Sending in one... Yeah, that's rough. Cure, so incredibly good. Going up to 4 bases right now, sending in another attack. More siege tanks, these Marines as well, just continuously being picked up in time. Not a single good opportunity being found here by... Oh, well, that's reasonable. But yeah, again, I mean... It's not just the trades here that's happening, of course. It's also the creep spread. It is not getting anywhere here for Su once again. He is trying, he's doing his best, but I mean, look at this. This base is open on like almost 3 sides without barely any creep spread. Oh my dear lord, I don't like this engagement here for Su whatsoever. Going around that corner makes it very difficult. Gives those Marines so much more time to just shoot away at the Banelings, at the Zerglings. And that's a rough one indeed. Baneling drop here into this place. Oh no! Su not being able to make that work either, and has to try and deal with this here. Okay, does clean this up this time around. The added in firepower from those Hydras helping out, of course, but at the same time he's gonna lose drones here in the main base, as is tradition for Cure. He won't let up. He won't let up. Will just set himself up there again. Another push coming in here for Cure once more, forcing all the units of Su to get into position. And I mean, there's even less creep spread now than there was before. And, well, actually no, there's 1 creep tumor here now instead of here, which is actually a better creep tumor to have, but it's dead now. It's gone. Never mind. Never mind. It's going to dissipate pretty darn soon here. Right, Su, how do you bring yourself back here in this position? What can you even get accomplished? He's gonna get +2/+2 pretty soon. He's getting himself the infestation pit. Maybe if he gets himself into some type of late game situation, maybe then will he be able to get this sorted. Nice circling run by on the backside here. Getting a good surround going and forcing a lot of the siege tank fires to misdirect there. The Hydras as well, and being able to stay alive and keep the keep Cure on his toes. Again, the drop here in... Oh, it's the second drop we've seen fall like that. A bit unfortunate this time around. It was Cure's drop though, and not Su's. Alright. Su needs to get something going to regain momentum in this overall match. The hive attack is on the way. But I mean, 2 pronged attacks, that is where Cure, his skill lies, I'd say. It's where he gets most of his wins from. Did you see that targeting on the Banelings as well? That was just, oh my god. That's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Su's making some moves here. Getting in a pretty reasonable position, but didn't clean up this though. That could be trouble here. No Banelings whatsoever available. The siege tank kind of shooting at the young Marines as well, but cleaning up mostly the Zerglings here. Nice targeting there again on the siege tank. This time from Su. Realizes that he needs Banelings here, but is it too little? Is it too late? Okay, no, he does manage to hold on once again. This is just Su trying to stay alive here for his tournament life. I mean, if he loses this one, he's gonna have to just kind of be the second place person once again here and make do with the silver medal instead of the gold, which looks to be more and more likely to be taken into Cure's hands right now. Coming in hot once more with a pretty hefty attack, and I think we are reaching the point of no return here. Okay, more forces for Su coming as well, though. But, I mean, look at the reinforcements for Cure as well. Those siege tanks more on the top side. Saves it as well. Gets it on the other side. No problem here. Cure coming in with so many units. So much reinforcements. And we need to see magic bailing connections right now. We do have Vipers on the way. That is a good thing. And Su makes a very tough decision to just forego this base entirely. Let it go and forget about it. No problem. 3 empty medevacs. Kind of... is that a bait? Is that a bait, or did he just send them over here to help out this attack over on that side? Most of the forces now in the main base. Guys, I think we may have the capitulating point right here. GG it's called. Pure absolutely destroying once again. No problem. And taking the series here 4-0 against Su. Su got more wins in a best of 3 against Cure than he did in the best of 7. And that's rather disgusting. Oh my dear lords. Well, unfortunate that for Su. But Cure, those were some immaculate games. That was absolutely brilliantly played. And yeah, Su always the second placer. Always the second place man. It's unfortunate, but it came true once again here in this tournament. And anyway, honestly, well played there by Cure. One of the best Terran players around right now. I honestly do think that he's picking up more and more momentum. The more this man is playing, the more tournaments he just seems to be winning right now. And I'm thoroughly impressed. I am hoping to see Cure kind of being able to continue on with his overall climbing on the scale and be able to topple the already top dogs on the StarCraft 2 scene, because that seems to be his mission right now. That definitely does. Anyway, alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had a lovely time over here. I'm gonna do one last final shout out for the Matcherino, of course. It would be of great help. Anyone that hasn't already, help us out with that coupon code right here. It takes up a couple of seconds. I've already done it. Oh wait, it's not. It's AX500 DJ. Easy as that, and then you just got to contribute. And that's all. Do a couple of those quests, and yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It will help us out. It will help us out. It will help StarCraft out. It will help these players out. Just overall a good thing. Alright, guys. I'm gonna look for somebody to raid. Let me see if we have anybody from the Alpha X squad that is streaming right now. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Where is this again? Sometimes it's difficult to see. Streams and VODs. There we go. Streams and VODs. Who do we have? It's me. Alright, not that many people. Alright, let's just try to find someone else then. Somebody else. Who, does anyone have a preference? Any preferences here? Liquid TLO? Could be good. Could be good. That's happening. Anki's doing this. Alright. Alright. We'll do TLO. Not seeing anyone else, right? Okay. We'll do TLO here. Alright. Talk to you all later. Have a good one. And peace out. Love you all. Cheers for watching. And I appreciate you. Alright? Bye-bye.